The loudmouth cunt stomps in like she's heaven's lost gift. Cocky ass bitch with a soul full of shit.
Restart.
The loudmouth cunt stomps in like she's heaven's lost gift. Cocky ass bitch with a soul full of shit. Cigarette breath and a busted face. Talking all tough, but she's out of place. Think you're hot shit, bitch, you just trash. All bark, no bite, sounding like a yapping mud, talking out your ass. Every word you spew's pure fucking shit. You're the reason hell runs out of time. Can't stand up, bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on a tippy toe.
It smells like June. Oh, damn it. Son of a bitch. Damn it. All right, back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up.
The loudmouth cunt stomps in like she's heaven's lost gift. Cocky ass bitch with a soul full of shit. Cigarette breath and a busted face. Talking all tough, but she's out of place. Think you're hot shit, but you just trash. All bark, no bite, sounding like a yapping mud, talking out your ass. Every word you spew's pure fucking shit. You're the reason hell runs out of time. Can't stand up, bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on her tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips, riding to the core. Just a filthy fucking train wreck horse. Yeah. She's got drama dripping off her tongue, talking big shit since she was young. Fake ass smile, cheap perfume, old damn vibe, smells like June. Think it's tough, bitch, you're just a joke. All talk, no action, just blowing smoke. Every move you make's a fucking show. You're the kind of trash karma loves to tow. Can't stand up, bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on the tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips, rotten to the core. Just a filthy fucking train wreck whore. You two-faced whore, you ain't shit but a stain. Spewing your poison, driving folks insane. Keep flapping them lips, you worthless bitch. Karma's loading up and she's itching to switch. You talk like a queen, but you crawl like a rat. Ain't nobody buying your fake ass act. Can't stand up, bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on the tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips, rotten to the core. Just a filthy fucking train wreck horse. Keep clapping them gums, you foul mouth witch. World sick of your drama, you toxic bitch. Your mama should've swallowed, saved us the fight from dealing with your stinking ass day and night. You're a low-life joke, a waste of breath, a walking disease that karma's gonna wreck. Go choke on your lies, you miserable bitch. Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like that song. I really like that song. Makes me want to sing it. Makes me want to sing it. Loudmouth bitch, with. You got to learn the words. Breath in the Beyonce's face. Well, let's go up and check out the place. Thinking about it. Well, I gotta learn the words. Loudmouth bitch who thinks her shit don't stink, walking on her tippy toes for another drink. That's right. That's you, baby. That's you, baby. That's you. That's a good song. I like it. Meat and Doritos. Well, dropping Doritos. Anywho, which one of you punk ass mofos got the courage to pop up here? Huh? You guys like to talk shit about me behind my back. Ain't none of you got the courage to show up here, I bet, though, do you? Loudmouth bitches. That's what you is. Yep. Ain't none of you got the hair on your ass. You come on up here. Fucking say what you got to say to my face that you say behind my back. See, the difference is that I say shit right to your face. I'll come up. Come on up here. I'll give you guys a little bit of respect when you come on here so you don't get all butthurt and upset and run away crying like a little girl. Come on. What about you, Venus? Here, you're talking shit about me behind my back. There's some fucking weird ass shit that you got going on in your little pea brain. I know you're stealth watching right now. What is it that you're saying? Let me look it up. Somebody sent it to me. What's this? Venus Cupcake 2 hours ago. This was earlier today. Unslaved Truth is soliciting Bad Apple Media. Why do you fucking scumbags got to put my name in your mouth? Venus, I don't give two fucks about you. And where do you need some attention too? Do you not get any attention from that man in your house? Does he fear spending time with you? Does he avoid you like the fucking plague? That's what you told me, that he doesn't have nothing to do with you half the time. He's in his part of the house and you're in your part of the house. What kind of relationship is that? Yeah, ain't none of my business, but okay. But let me finish reading your fucking stupid ass post. To get Unslaved Truth is soliciting Bad Apple Media to get personal information or investigate me. Are you guys afraid of me and my investigative skills? Is that what it is? Have you not seen the likes of me? You've been graced with the presence of that shock journalist, Snafu Snaps, for how many years now? And you guys, do you fear his investigative journalism skills? I don't think you do. You clearly are afraid of me. You clearly avoid having any communication with me for whatever reason. Kind of funny. Well, here you go. Any of you got a hair on your little booty, come on up here and run your mouth to me. So let's finish reading this. Unslaved Truth is soliciting Bad Apple Media to get personal information or investigate me for money. Tariq is looking for someone to hire that will stalk me. Really? You guys really believe that you're stalk worthy? You think that I have nothing better to do with my busy day than to stalk you? Is that your delusional, your brain running off in delusional fucking shit? Well, I don't need Tariq's money. Tariq can go do ass fucking Snafu Snaps. Where's Tariq coming up with this shit? Is this something that he says in his lives? I don't watch his shit. I'm not subscribed to him. I don't know that he goes live, and I really don't care what he says in his live streams. He repeats himself over and over and over and over again. Do I need Tariq's $100? No. Not at all. I got more money than Tariq does. Trust me. He's looking for someone to hire that will stalk me. Cyber stalking, ? I warn you, the minute that happens, I will prosecute whoever's involved. I have everything lined up, all ready to go. Well, good for you. How come you've never prosecuted Snafu Snaps or anybody else that you claim, or Tariq himself? Are you threatening me, Venus? Are you threatening me? Are you gonna call Detective Cleveland and tell him that Tariq has hired me to stalk you? You know how crazy you people sound to the fucking prosecutors and the cops? Do you guys realize how stupid you fucking sound? Ask Snafu Snaps how stupid he sounds. Now he's claiming that the courthouse and the prosecutors are corrupt and that they've done something wrong, and that's how I beat the case. No, your fucking dumbass failed to come to court and to sit on the stand and testify against me because it's my constitutional right to face my accuser in a court of law. Do you need to hear the recording from that day when I was in court? You sure didn't have a problem contacting me an hour and 45 minutes later, Snafu Snaps, running your mouth, telling me that you're going to take a PPO out on me and leave your family alone. Did you leave Jack Talcott's family alone? Do you leave, when you harass people all over the internet, do you leave them alone? No, you sure don't. But when the shoe's on the other foot, you don't like it, do you, you fucking bitch-ass cocksucker? You guys crack me up. You're all a bunch of fucking weirdos, man. So let me finish reading this stupid-ass fucking post. I warn you, the minute that happens, I will prosecute whoever's involved. I have everything lined up already to go. Do you have it all documented? Do you have it all documented? Do you have whistleblowers? Do you have a team gathering evidence? Tariq's last video was a solicitation to hire someone to stalk and harass me. Has been recorded and sent to the authorities already. Ooh. Better watch out, Tariq. She's coming for you. And Tariq, don't fucking ask me to do anything for you, dude. Don't do anything for you, even if you wanted to give me $100,000. I'm not for hire. Okay? I do my own investigative journalism. What's up, Tony? So, oh, here comes Hank Flamo. He's over here seething. Hank, are you seething in the background? You come in here to talk about the email, aren't you? Shake your head up and down. Or you want to hear to talk about the email? You want to defend yourself from it? Yeah, I know. That's what you're so upset about. So, anyways, let me finish reading this here. Tariq's last video was solicitation to hire someone to stalk and harass me. Has been recorded and sent to the authorities already. I'm not playing. Well, good for you, Venus. Go for it. You get Tariq Bazzi in any situation you want, but keep me out of it because I don't have anything to do with it. I have no desire to play with you, Venus. I've already told you how I feel about you. I think you're no good. You're just as bad as the rest of them. You hide in the corner and you play tiddlywinks with each other, and then you run your mouth about me behind my back. How about you come on up here, Donna? I know you're stealth watching. Why don't you come on up here with your buddy Hank, and you guys can tag team me on my stream? Because that's what you guys do. You tag team all the time. And then that's why you guys won't come into my live stream. But I'll give Hank a little credit. He showed up here, but I know he's already going to whine and cry about the email situation. I guarantee it. Anybody want to bet me $100? Anybody want to bet me $100 that Hank Flamo is going to cry about the email situation and tell me I'm a paper tiger? How many times you want to? Anybody want to bet how many times that Hank Flamo calls me a paper tiger? You're a paper tiger. I know. I'm a paper tiger. What's up, keeping it real? They won't come to you, bro. None of these people will do anything. I'll come down there to Tampa and come and meet you and have a cold one with you, bro, if you drink. Well, anyway, let's give Hank Flamo a chance, you guys. Are you guys ready to give Hank Flamo a chance? See what he's got to say? Anybody? Well, we'll bring him on up and see what he's got to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Hank Flamo to the show. What's up, Mr. Flamo?
Hello, Lee. I'm curious.
What's up, John? How you doing, John?
Yeah, it's curious that you don't realize that you're an F tier with your boyfriend Snafu. And
what? Slow down. Calm down. Slow down. Talk slow.
yes,
I have a hard time hearing you when you talk real fast.
Yes, you have a hard time hearing people. I know.
I know. So let's hear your insults. Let's hear you connect me to your boyfriend Snafu Snaps.
Not my boyfriend. You dated for 3 years before I ever met him.
All right. This is the best that you got, Hank. Is this the best that you got? Did you change your sunglasses to come onto my channel today?
It's better than what you got.
What do I got?
Well, first of all,
you're not good at insults, bro. You're not good at insults.
I'm just trying to describe what you got. So what
do I got? Describe what I got.
You're afraid of Snafu Snaps' court case against you, and you were begging.
What are you talking about? How are you fucking retarded? Do I gotta backstage you? Shut the fuck up. How am I afraid of Snafu Snaps court date? Tell me. Come on, tell me.
You asked all kinds of people for help. They need dirt on Snafu Snaps and need help with the case.
Yes, I don't need any. Listen, dickhead. Shut your fucking mouth, you dickhead, before I backstage you.
You're scared. I knew it.
Shut the fuck up before I backstage you, idiot. Shut your fucking dick hole up. Shut your dick hole up. Shut your dick hole up. You make no sense, you fucking retarded motherfucker. I'm scared of Snafu Snaps.
You're scared of me?
Do you ever shut your fucking mouth and say anything intelligent? You're really butthurt over that email, aren't you?
Some spam email your boyfriend sent?
Yeah, my boyfriend, right?
Yes, I'm
your boyfriend.
Oh,
he's in love with you.
No, spam from Snafu. Oh no,
is this what you do? Is this what you do when you go on other channels and you act like a fucking child? You only do that when you come on here, right?
You record everything, so you should know.
Do you only come on here and run your mouth like a child? I'm asking you a question, Hank. Calm down. Have an adult conversation, Hank. Because if you're not willing to have an adult conversation and go back and forth, I don't need you here. So calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Take a deep breath, Hank. Take a deep breath. Calm the fuck down. Are you ready? All right, now calm the fuck down. Are you done? Because I'll boot you. This is my stream.
Keep maintaining that frame, Lee. Keep maintaining that frame. Oh,
this is exactly what an agent of chaos that works with Snafu Snaps and all of them would behave like.
You'll sell someone on this.
What?
You're not telling me. You're not convincing me. But you'll sell someone on this.
Hank, hold on. I try to explain to you. I have a hard time deciphering what you say when you talk too fast. Talk slow.
Yes, Leo, talk slower for you.
There you go.
Keep maintaining frame. Someone will buy it eventually.
Gang signs. Quit throwing up gang signs. Quit making gang signs. So explain to me how I'm afraid of Snafu Snaps.
So when you first came on and interacted with me, you were afraid of Snafu Snaps because he got that freaking thing on your leg. But you don't even know what you're talking about, dude. You don't even know what you're talking about. You clearly don't know what you're talking about. Did I have a tether on my leg? Yes, I did. But do you think that he got that on my leg because of what he did? I did that to myself because of him, and he pushed it. You don't know any details. When you talk about my case, just hear me out here. When you talk about my case, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. You don't. You don't know none of the details. You make shit up just like the rest of the idiots out here in the panelverse, and you don't listen to anything. You don't know how the law works. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, especially about this particular situation. You think you do, but you don't. So let's hear what you got to say. Did you ever get that foil of me going to the police, Mr. Legal Expert?
You're the least of my worries, Hank. I don't give two fucks about you.
Because you don't know.
Oh, slow down.
You think you know. You don't know how it works. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got that tether in the first place. You don't know.
What are you even saying, Hank? What are you even saying? Let's clarify exactly what you said. Slow down. When you talk, hey,
when it comes
to hold on. Listen. When you talk too fast, something's going on with your end. Your microphone isn't picking it up, and you're breaking up. Slow down. Calm down. Talk slowly. Don't talk too loud. Talk slowly. Talk clearly.
Clearly, you're rattled. You're clearly rattled.
I'm rattled? Okay, I'm rattled. So what were you saying about the tether? Don't change the subject.
You don't understand the law at all.
Yeah, I don't understand the law at all. You're right.
All right, thank you for.
You're right. You're right. Yes. I'll concede to whatever you say, Hank, because your delusional impressions of what you know is superior to what I know.
But it is. I mean, you said you would get that FOIA request from me report.
I don't give a fuck about you and your FOIA request, nitwit. Shut the fuck up already.
You didn't know.
Oh my god. I don't fucking care about your fucking FOIA. I don't give a fuck because you're a coward and you won't stand up to Snafu Snaps with him calling you an N-bomb on Jack Talcott's. You won't make an issue with any government agency to show that he committed a racially motivated hate crime. You don't want to show the law enforcement that, so that tells me that you and him are in some type of cahoots. And don't come at me and go, I'm above him. I'm above him. That doesn't make any sense. There you go.
Of course it doesn't make sense to you. You aren't good at this.
I'm not good at this, right? I'm not good at this, but you are. Right.
Yes.
You're the best, Hank. You're the shit, dude. Hank Flamo is the shit.
Relative to you and your boyfriend.
I know. To me and my boyfriend, Snafu Snaps.
Yes.
I've defended your stupid ass for the entire time that he was calling you a child groomer. From the minute that I heard the video that allegedly a child called into your channel and you were trying to groom it, I know that it's not real. And even though I think that you're kind of a nitwit and whatever, I'll still stand on the truth and say that I don't believe that what he claims occurred because he created it. Other than that, I still think you're a nitwit.
Obviously, but the thing is, you were 2 years too late to make.
What are you talking about? 2 years too late? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about time, Lee. I'm talking about time.
2 years from what? What am I 2 years late from? Of course, 2 years is time. But what occurred 2 years ago that I don't know about, or I missed the train? What is it, Hank? Clarify.
So Snafu Snaps made the terroristic threat on Jack Talcott's show over a year before I even knew you existed.
So and you guys still allow him, and you guys still allow him to come into your fucking graces. You still associate with him. You still enable him. You guys still play games with him. So what's that say about you?
It says I have more spine than you do.
You have more spine than me. What do you mean by you have more spine? Is that you allow him to abuse you? You allow him to fucking say shit about you that's not true? You got no spine, bro. You're a jellyfish. You don't have no spine.
You had to backstage me 5 times already in this.
I'm going to continue to backstage you because you won't shut the fuck up. This is my channel, and I'll backstage you all the fuck I want. You don't like it? Leave.
You're rattled, and you are.
I'm rattled. Hank Flamo rattled me.
You need to backstage me so much.
You rattled me, Hank. So what is the purpose? Yeah, clearly. So what is the purpose of you talking about Jack Talcott and Snafu? I don't care.
You came in.
I don't care.
Make a damn difference. No, yes, you don't
care. What do you think that I do? What do you think that I care about that for? Why are you bringing that up?
You said you were protecting me, but you were.
I'm not protecting you from anything. I never said I was protecting you. Don't twist my words, fucktard.
All right, you defend.
I said that I was defending the lie that Snafu Snaps told about you. It's not protecting you. I'm calling out Snafu Snaps, saying that what he did, claiming that you're a child groomer, I believe is a lie. I believe that he was the one who created the voice that came into your shit. That's what I said. I'm not protecting you. I don't give a fuck. You protect yourself. You're a big boy.
Well, even if we did, I would ask you to stand down for your sake.
I don't. Okay, we don't need to talk about hypotheticals, man. Let's talk about the real deal. If I did, you would tell me to stand. Okay, if I did, you'd tell me to stand down. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, because you're easily rattled.
I'm easily rattled. I think you're easily rattled. When I brought up that email, you've been fucking gone ballistic ever since. You're the easily rattled one. Not me.
Over spam?
You couldn't handle what I've been through, Hank. You couldn't handle what I've been through from your boyfriend, Snafu Snaps. You allow him on your channel after he's done the shit that he's done to you so you can mediate between him and Venus. What? Who the fuck do you think? Why would you even bother being the mediator between Venus and Snafu?
Because it's funny.
Why?
It's funny.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, it was pretty funny. You're right. It was funny. It was funny. You're right. That was funny. You allowed a guy that harasses you, calls you an N-bomb, says I advocate for hanging N-bombs, and just harasses you constantly. Calls you a child groomer every chance that he gets. Anytime you are on a panel, he's calling you a child groomer, you're a pedophile, you're all this. But you tolerate it. But you're telling me that I don't have a spine. I'm the only one that confronts Snafu Snaps and is willing to confront him, but I'm I'm the one that don't have a spine.
Yes, Bad Apple Media.
Yeah, I know. I know. Hank says I don't have a spine, so whatever Hank says is.
What is your definition of confront?
What is your definition of delusional?
Answer my question.
I don't answer your stupid ass questions, bro. This is pointless. What are you doing here? What purpose are you serving here? When are you going to get to the email? When are you going to get to the email? When are you going to get to the email? Because that's why you're here. When are you going to get to the email?
Tell me it's fake. You weren't worried about the email.
Well, you're here. You're talking about shit that has nothing to do with nothing. You're talking about shit that has nothing to do with nothing.
I'll talk about your
email. You claim that I'm afraid of Snafu Snaps. Okay, I'm afraid of Snafu Snaps. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied?
Yes.
What else you got to talk about now? So what else do you got to talk about? What else do you got to talk about? What else do you have to talk about?
Let me finish my syllable. I'll tell you about the email.
I don't want to know about the email. Remember, I told you I don't want to know about the email.
You said both ways.
I said I don't want to know about the email because I'm not going to allow you to talk about it.
Then you won't learn about the email then. Good.
I don't care. I already know where the email came from. I know what it's about. I already know what's behind it. And I don't give a fuck how you try to justify it. I don't care what you have to say about it.
All right.
I've made my mind up. Do you understand that? Nothing you say will change my mind.
All right. Then I don't understand why you asked me about it then. You're not.
I didn't ask you about it. I know that you want to talk about it because you want to try to deflect from.
Now. You're psychic now.
I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I'm shaking now. You know you look kind of retarded when you do that.
You sound kind of retarded when
you look retarded when you do that. You know that, right?
You sound retarded when you do this.
I know. I sound retarded. I sound retarded, but you look retarded.
Yeah, but at least I look at all. I had the courage to turn.
I know. You're a good-looking homeboy, aren't you? Got all the ladies. The ladies love John Lewis, don't you? The ladies love John Lewis. LLJ Cool. Not LL Cool J. Is your silicone lady waiting for you?
No, she's dead.
Oh, what'd you do? Beat the hell out of her?
Of course. I'm black.
Yeah. So what do you want, Hank? Racist. What are you doing here? What do you want, Hank?
You asked who had the courage to come up.
Okay, well, okay. You showed that you got.
That's me.
You showed
I had all the courage. You have none of it.
You got the courage. You're a man. You're a man. You don't defend yourself from Snafu Snaps other than saying I'm above him. You're a man.
Yes, of course.
You're the biggest. You're the coolest. You're the coolest cucumber that's on the fucking Panelverse, man.
Of course.
What
else do I need to say?
Well, I don't know. Then why are you here? You can exit stage left anytime you want. You ain't got nothing better to say.
You asked who had the courage to
panel up. It's me. Okay, so you showed me you had the courage to panel up. It's me golf clapping for you. Okay. Good. You showed up.
but you have nothing valuable. You have nothing valuable to say. You want to tell me that I'm a boyfriend with Snafu Snaps and I don't have the courage. You want to insult me. You've got nothing but insults for me now, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want. But it's funny that you changed your entire tune and your attitude when I accused you of that email. You went so ballistic on that. You were fucking literally flailing your arms around, yelling and screaming, yelling into your microphone, fucking going nuts, bro. And that is pretty much a clear indication of somebody who is guilty of sin.
So it's a sin to receive spam emails now.
No, you were tagged in it, and there was so what's your theory? Let me play devil's advocate here. Let me go along with your little narrative that it was a fake email or it was a spam email or whatever you want to label it.
It was a real email.
Why were you tagged in it? Because people are trying to get you.
Pretty much a trap. Pretty much
a trap for who?
It's for you, probably.
Oh, for me, right. It wasn't sent to me, you fucking idiot. It wasn't sent to me, and it wasn't given or mentioned to me until about 6, maybe 7 months, somewhere around there, after it was actually sent. Yeah, it was it was in a conversation that I had with Lena. I got it from Lena. She told me you can tell people that I gave it to you. I'm having a conversation off air with Lena, telling her how I think that all of these people, like Snafu Snaps and Cynthia and Dusty and fucking OTW and Jack, they're all part of some whacked out. That there's no other explanation, that they're either really fucking insane to the point where they make you. It makes them appear to be part of some type of psychological operation of sorts. I don't know. I don't have no proof. But it's really weird what goes on with you fucking people in the panelverse. And so having this conversation with her, and I'm like, I believe that they're all part of InfraGard or whatever. And I was telling her about the Canadians. And then she was like, you know what? I got an email that's really weird that you mentioned that. And she's like, so she sent me the email. And I was like, well, if that's a legitimate email, which it appears it possibly could be, that's just a little piece of information there that confirms what I've been saying all along. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Hank, that you're not part of the CSIS program in Canada, and you're not, aware of what's going on, and they just tagged you in it to make you look like you're part of it. Do you think that there might be some wild shit going on the internet, that there could be some gang stalking program or some government involvement where they're all kind of like in cahoots together to some degree? Or am I paranoid schizophrenic, man?
No, that's been confirmed. There's clearly some of that going on.
Oh, but you're not involved in it because you were tagged in it as a joke or a fake email.
As far as I know, I'm not involved in it. I'm not getting a paycheck or anything.
Do you realize that you hold on one second.
Let me finish. You let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Yes. But curiously said, InfraGard at Hackers Guild PGH, I was invited by one of the guild leaders to go to some kind of InfraGard meetup. So I'm not involved.
Who invited you there? Who?
What's his name? Let me check my Discord. Art from Hackers Guild PJ told me about an InfraGard. I'm not part of it yet, but
who told you about that? I can't. I'm having a hard time hearing you tell me who sent you that.
They didn't send me that. They told me after the meeting, at the last open meeting of the Hackers Guild PGH, that
Hackers Guild PGH. What's that?
It's a security meetup. It's a little private institution for information security.
Is this through your employment?
No, it's not through my employment.
This is through the Panelverse people that you know?
No, I have other connections.
Okay, so somebody that you know invited you to join the InfraGard program.
I'm not formally invited, but invited to join a meetup, an open meetup, so I could be invited later. And that, just put in the funnel.
So do you know what InfraGard is? Did you look it up, or do you know? Did you say what's InfraGard?
Yeah, it's FBI. It's FBI, pretty much.
And what else? And what else do you know about InfraGard and the FBI? What do you know about it? Did you, since you're interested, you're an intelligent man, did you dig into it and try to figure out what it was? And how long ago was this invite?
Oh, that was literally this week. It was
Thursday. So you got an email?
No, I don't have an email because we talked in person.
So you talked in person at a hackers meeting?
Yes.
What are you doing at a hackers meeting? Are you a hacker?
Yes, I am. Technically, but the MIT term, I would qualify because hacker just means builder. But I'm not interested in
infiltrating networks.
No, I'm not interested in that. I'm more interested. I'm a use Linux. I'm more interested in protecting my servers and my people and their data. So I'm not really interested in the offense at all.
So you're looking at defensive hacking. You're looking at stopping the hackers.
Yeah, well, not as they stop them, distract them from important stuff.
Ah, right. Okay, so prior to a week ago, when you were introduced into the potential of becoming connected to or whatnot into the InfraGard program, did he give you any details?
No.
So how do you know that InfraGard is the FBI?
I looked it up.
You didn't see any of my videos that I did on it?
No, but I heard about Alex Jones talking about it, but he didn't go into any details. I'll go ahead and watch your videos since I know they exist now. But no, I didn't watch your videos yet.
You went and you watch whose video?
I heard Alex Jones drops InfraGard's name every once in a while, but he never goes into any details about it.
Oh, I wouldn't know because I don't watch Alex Jones because he's a government shill,
Yes.
Like Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, all them guys. They're all government shills,
Yeah, they are.
Do you know the majority of people online are government shills? Do you think that?
I wouldn't say it's a majority. There's a large plurality of government shows, but it's not a majority.
The big channels are definitely.
Yes.
They don't get big by luck. They don't get big because they're interesting and people start following them. Do you think by any chance, any remote possibility whatsoever, has it ever crossed your mind prior, like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever you encountered Mr. Officer Snaps, you ever think that he may be some sort of agent for the government? Or do you think that that's a far-fetched, nonsensical, proposition?
It's possible. Needs further testing.
What more testing do you need?
If
how could you prove it or disprove it?
A personnel record would prove it for sure. If there's a personnel record and any of those alphabet agencies, that would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Do you know his buddy Robert Burrs that you were mentioning over there at Cynthia's? You said, why don't you get your defense attorney buddy to assist you in prosecuting Bad Apple Media?
Yes.
Do you know who that guy is?
I think he used to be an attorney general for California. I didn't look into him that much. Or if I did,
no, he's not an attorney general. He wasn't that high up in the food chain. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's working in the Colorado justice system. That's where Snafu Snaps is from. He was involved in, a lot of things. I'm not even going to elaborate on it, but one of his big projects, one of his pets, is pushing justice reform. Do you know what justice reform is?
getting felons more rights, I guess.
No.
No?
No. No. Justice reform is, if you know anything about the justice system and where there's a victim in prior, say, like back it up, a few years, and then say you were a victim in a criminal matter, and you were the government was prosecuting the individual who turned you in, made you a victim, the perpetrator, the criminal, whatever. And that criminal would just basically be at the mercy of the courts and the justice system and go through the process. And then at the end of the process, the victim would be given an opportunity to come into court and give a victim impact statement, or to say something during sentencing to, influence the sentence. Okay. And now they're trying to change this all over the country. And Snafu's buddy, Robert Burrs, is behind this big movement where his, it's not his, but it's something that he promotes on a grand scale, where the victim used to be heard at the end. Now the victim is part of the criminal proceedings from the start, if they choose to. And the purpose is to not punish the criminal, and to bring the victim and the criminal together to have some sort of resolution that doesn't involve like severe punishment. And it's this really weird thing where they're trying to connect the criminal and the victim of sort. And the victim can come in and talk to the prosecutor and the judge and give their put their 2 cents in, which is exactly what Snafu Snaps has started to do with me. He learned this process from Robert Burrs. And I don't know who Agent is in the background, but I don't know who you are, so you're probably not going to pop up here. So
I don't know them either.
I don't know who Agent is, and you're not going to come in here anonymous, so you might as well forget about it. And so
I have a suggestion for that reform. How about some corporal punishment? Maybe allow the victim to spank or slap or hit the perpetrator if it was a violent crime. Maybe like a cat of 9 tails.
Well, maybe you should get in touch with Robert Burrs and suggest that. He's available. You can communicate with him through just look him up, Robert Burrs, Colorado, and you can get in touch with him. So,
okay.
But anyways, that's why Snafu Snaps started this shit with me, because he wanted to, in my opinion, he wanted to put this justice reform process to the test, but in a negative manner, because the purpose of justice reform, the way that Robert Burrs is sharing it and the way that they're pushing it and proposing it and implementing it into the court system all over the country, is so you can have resolutions and put an end to these prosecutions where people go to prison for a long time or whatnot, whatever it is. And Snafu Snaps has manipulated his buddy Robert Burrs' program, and he's using it in a negative manner to maliciously prosecute me, or was. It's over with now, but he was using it in a way that it wasn't designed to do, where he would come into court and he would claim that I'm a dangerous man and he's so scared of me and they need to give me the maximum, put me on tether and do all kinds of, he would, Snafu Snaps was just manipulating and weaponizing the judicial system like the scumbag that he is, because he's a manipulator And so if you contacted Robert Burrs and you said, hey, I would like to have a conversation with you, or just go watch Snafu Snaps interviews with Robert Burrs, unless he's taken them down, and I think that he possibly took them down.
They're back up.
Well, I don't know if they're back up. I don't pay too much attention.
I check in on his channels every once in a while. They are back up right now.
Okay, well, you go watch his video, and you'll get a little bit of how to, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll see how Robert Burrs explains, the Justice Reform Program, and you can see how Snafu Snaps has taken that program and weaponized it. And that can tell you and show you how dangerous this justice reform can work with a sick, demented, mentally deranged individual like Snafu Snaps, who likes to play the victim while he victimizes anybody and everybody he can. He's not a victim of me. He's not a victim of anybody but his own demise. He's his own worst enemy.
I agree.
So, an individual like Snafu Snaps, in my opinion, needs to be stopped. He needs to be off the internet, not because I believe in removing people's First Amendment rights, but Snafu Snaps is devil in disguise. And he's a terrorist. He's an internet terrorist. He's a phony. He's a fraud. He's a fake. Anybody who wants to argue that fact and disagree with me, then they're probably in the same category as he is. I would love to see Snafu Snaps be banned from the internet for the rest of his life. And if I could ever get that opportunity and present my argument and present all of the evidence that shows that he's an internet terrorist to whoever needs to see it, whether it's the FBI or a state attorney or whoever, if his only punishment is to be banned from the internet for life, I would consider that a successful prosecution. But it seems like everybody that enables him, they want him on there. They need him. They love Snafu Snaps. But they love him or hate him, they still want him around.
Yeah, so as much as I would want him to be banned from the internet, I don't have those strings to pull. So I take the second option of taking away all of his credibility, so it doesn't matter if he says something or not. He's just a donkey groaning. There's nothing of him coming out of his mouth that's relevant.
Well, I understand that, but let me pause this for a second. Whoever agent was, if you could see the backstage, Hank, he says, I have the courage. And he says, you're a fucking pussy. Well, come on back up here, agent. Use your real fucking cam up. Show me who you are. And give it a shot again. I know that I'm not a pussy. I would imagine you hiding behind a fake name, agent, without camming up, tells me that you're the fucking pussy. So it's probably just some loser running around the internet. I don't know. I really don't care. But if you got the courage, agent, cam up. Come on back up so we can see your ugly face.
Well, I'm going to sign out.
All right. Peace out.
I'm not the one on camera.
Well, I go on camera too, but I've been working all day. Will this make you happy, Hank? I know you think it's a big deal. Here. Are you happy now, Hank? So anywho, let me see. Let me read some of the comments here. Keeping it real, said, peace, Bad Apple. Thank you for standing up to these clowns. Be safe. Tap to you later. All right, later, dude. Oh, yeah, that email rattled him. Hank confirmed he don't take Snap's threats serious. Yeah, that's true. These people can't let a dead dog lay. That's true. Rip Curl in the house. Tony says it wasn't a spam email, Hank. Shadow Ban Forever says, dude. Shadow Ban Forever says, why don't you just separate from this craziness? Yeah. Well, it doesn't mean anything to you, Shadow Ban Forever. It doesn't mean anything to you. You weren't the one that was maliciously prosecuted by some fucking scumbag internet terrorist. And then he's got all of his buddies running their mouths about me. So it really doesn't bother me, but I like to, they want my attention. So I'm going to give them their attention. When they stop running their mouths about me, I'll go on about my day. Kind of like I did when Snafu Snaps would come and fucking run his mouth in my chat. And then I'd ban him. I'd tell him he was a piece of shit, loser, scumbag, go fuck himself. And then he would disappear for 2 or 3 months. So it might not mean anything to you, Shadow Ban Forever, but it means something to me. Hate to burst your little bubble, but that's the way it goes. Tony says, holy shit, Hank's an agent. How and what? I'm not locked into a caustic community. I was drug into this fucking mess. I'm trying to get them to all get their heads out of their asses, but it's never going to happen. So here you go. Here's the link. Who else has the courage to come up here? I'm specifically looking for fucking Snafu fucking pussy boy Snaps to come up here. Kate Victory wants to know of Lynette whether it was her choice to get rid of your wrench at Tariq's. He got the wrench back. She got the wrench back, and no, it wasn't her choice. Well, that's what Tariq does. Is he takes wrenches and he gives wrenches. He takes wrenches and he gives wrenches. Kind of like he does when he texts me and he blocks me. He'll text me and he'll block me. And then he'll tell me he's got some information for me, and then he won't give no information to me. He tells me he's got information for me, and then he won't give me no information. He tells me that he'll give videos to me that he takes down, and then if he only one time he's ever given me the link to the video so I can watch it, and I told him that I don't have time to watch a 6-hour fucking video, so leave it, and then he takes it back. So this is what Tariq does, is he gives, he takes, he gives, he takes, and it's not it's stupid. So Kate says, well, Kate Victory says Bad Apple has a great point about InfraGard. Well, I know I have a great point about InfraGard. And so I always suspected something deeper was going on. When I started asking questions and speaking up, then people went after me. Well, that's what they do. They smear. Okay, Victory says, but I'm glad Bad Apple and Browns Boy are exposing this in a serious way and not a crazy clownish way like Tariq. No, that's what Tariq does. Rip Curl says that he agrees 100%. Paula Nitz. Hola, Mr. Bad Apple. I guess you could call me a recent victim of Matthew Sims. I heard your name and decided to check things out. Oh, if Paula Nitz, you're still in here, you're more than welcome to come up here and tell us what Snafu Snaps did to you. You don't have to cam up. Just tell us what he did. I'd really like to know. I don't know who Paula Nitz is, but it's not a shock because he's an internet terrorist. And I'm trying to get Snafu Snaps to come up here, but he clearly he's running around the internet harassing people like Paula Nitz or whoever. So I don't know if Rip Curl remembers me. I remember when Marf was doing videos at a banquet table with his wife. Well, you've been around a long time, Paula Nitz. Lee, read Paula Nitz's comment. I just did. I think it's very interesting that Hank was approached to be part of a group. That's very interesting. Well, if it's true, maybe he'll want to keep record of it next time. Get yourself a body camera, Hank. Get you some of them spy glasses and turn them into sunglasses, and nobody will know that you're recording them. So where you at, Snafu Snaps? You ain't got no hair on your little vagina, your little syphilis dick to come up here, bro? Come on, Snafu. You want me to pay for your clutch? Come on. You know, I noticed that Jack Talcott went live earlier. I wasn't able to watch, and Snafu Snaps jumped up on there. And oddly enough, after I did that stream for 2.5 hours, come on up here, Paula Nitz, if you know how to use StreamYard's link. It's right there. Click the link. And come on up here and tell your story. But yeah, Snafu Snaps didn't jump on and then immediately start calling Jack Talcott a rapist and telling him that he's a failure and he's trying to stop wars and let's call the UN right now. And he kind of like chilled out for a minute. I think I kind of put him in chill mode for a few. I haven't watched the rest of the video, but maybe he didn't. Maybe we could watch it here and like skip through it real fast and see if he decided to go wacky on Jack Talcott. Because it's a possibility. You never know. You never know. He might have went wacky. Let's see. Let's see here. Videos. Where's it at? Right here. Finding your divine relationship with love. Friday chats with Jack and space for more growth to emerge. Oh, good Lord, this guy's so full of shit. So let's, yeah, people are saying that Jack is on drugs, and I tend to believe him, man. He's kind of talking all kinds of weird shit. It's kind of strange the way he behaves. It's almost like he's on drugs. I could be wrong. You never know. And Paulie Boy got up there and he was all acting a little weird. Seems funny that people, you know, start acting all weird and shit. I'm just getting up to the point where Snafu Snaps jumped up. King Stevens on there. No, Snafu Snaps don't got no integrity. We all know that. So let's see. We're going to share the screen. Pull it up here. Where are all you guys at? Where are all you fucking late night, up all night motherfuckers? You watching that powdered crackhead fucking show? You guys see, you know, people they run from there. There's Paula. Let's hold on one second. We'll get back to the Talcott thing. This is Paula up here. Give me 1 second, Paula. I'll be right there. I want to hear what she's got to say. It's going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please welcome Paula Nitz to the channel. Are you there, Paula?
Yes. Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. I just wasn't sure who you. So let me take down my banner because I wasn't sure who was going to be behind this. So you never know who to trust here. There you go. So
it took me a little bit. I had to switch headphones and
that's
take
all
a
right.
picture.
That's okay. So how you doing?
I'm okay. It's been an interesting few days.
So you mentioned in the chat that you are one of his recent victims.
Yeah, because you know, Caged Reality has back chat, right?
Yeah, I know Caged Reality a little bit. I think he's a little whack job himself, but yeah, he's got back chat where they do streams and they don't broadcast it. They just go and do like a secret stream.
Yeah, well, I showed up there back in September because it was getting cold and I usually stay up all night to tend in the fire. But it's kind of warm right now, so and I'm still on my schedule of being up all night, so
okay,
that's why I'm still up. And I didn't know you were live until I was actually watching a couple of your videos, and it's like, okay, you know, this guy doesn't seem to play games, and I appreciate it.
I have the motto of first. I got two mottos. First one is don't start no shit, won't be no shit. And then my second motto, if they fuck up the first one and they start shit, then my second motto is fuck around and find out.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my mottos.
All
The
right.
first one is do no harm, but take no shit.
All
And
right.
well, I pissed Snafu off because he was trying to tell me, oh, you can't talk to this one and that one, and then I told him, I said, I'll talk to who I want to talk to. I'm not exactly a spring chicken and I can really gauge people sometimes, though not recently. But
Right.
anyway,
So
he was
where did you let's back it up a little bit. Where did you first meet Mr. Snafu Snaps, aka Matthew Sims? Where did you first encounter him at Cage Rally?
yeah, he showed up on one of his chats and he totally went off on me the first time meeting him, because I was talking about some theories that oh shit, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Um, he's the older guy with the glasses that has the really pretty wife that he won't put on camera, and uh,
Older guy with glasses with a military wife that he won't put on camera.
no, she's probably really pretty, and he doesn't want people to see her, but she has a really pretty voice.
I'm
It's one
not
he
sure.
keeps saying is he says the guy's a pedo, so
Well, he says that about everybody, but
oh yeah, well, I'm not really fond of being called a pedo supporter. So
oh, I yeah, exactly.
oh and
So you don't know who he was, who he would now explain who that was again? Somebody in the military that wears glasses and has a pretty wife.
not he's not in the military. Oh damn it. Um why am I'm drawing a blank. I am so sorry. Um
And this was in,
he did those videos, oh man. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
that's all right. That's all right.
I don't I mean I watched the guy for like a decade, so it's like, I'm not, you know,
Well, you know who
I
Marf is.
yes, I know who Marv is.
So
And
you've watched Marf for a long time. Do you remember me on Marf, or how long you've been watching, or do you still watch Marf,
I don't
or
really
not?
watch Marv that much anymore because I just I have one person I watch as far as news now, and he just gives a rundown real quick of everything that's going on, and it's like one and done. And then I watch Bear Independent, so
Okay.
he's one of my favorites.
So when did you start watching Marf? You said
Probably
that you remember that he was at a
maybe
banquet with his
2000.
wife.
No, banquet table. He had the banquet table set up, the camera, and but this was well before COVID,
Okay.
about maybe 2017, 18, somewhere in there.
Well, I don't think he was around until like early 2018, late 2017, somewhere around there.
Yeah, was he had just started out, and of course I was up late at night.
Well,
So I put on his show and just listened to
well,
him talk, and
were you around the Marfoogle channel when it was when Shauna was on there, or was it when before Dex or after
it was
Dex? Do you
before
remember that?
Dex. It was
So
before Dex. After
so
Dex was on
you remember
there.
Shauna?
I don't know, but I remember what is it? Trinity Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hi Ho, the Kermit the Frog lady.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you remember her? She's really
Oh yeah,
sweet.
yeah. I know her.
I really didn't pay attention to a lot of
Trinity,
people's names. Yeah,
Trinity,
Trinity, Hi Ho.
Kermit the Frog. Yeah,
Yeah, Hi Ho. Yeah, all that.
yeah, yeah.
It's a really long name.
Yeah. All right. So let move forward, and then you were in Cage Reality, and Snafu told you that you couldn't talk to people, and go
And
start from there.
Okay, because he was on my Discord and I was on his Discord, and I told him, excuse me, but I'm old enough to make my own decisions on who I talk to and who I don't talk to. And apparently that really pissed him off, and I don't think I was quite as polite as I just said it then. But
Right.
so it's like, I was rereading my message when my message disappeared and he kicked me off of his Discord. So it's like
You're no longer in his. You're no longer in his crew.
I don't think I was ever the type for his crew because I'm too mouthy and I'm too bitchy. But anyway, so I deleted him from my Discord, and when they asked me for why, and I said, well, he kicked me out of his, so I returned the favor. So I haven't heard anything back from Discord, whether, that's a righteous thing to do or whatever, because Discord gets a little sometimes. I was in Mar's Discord a long time ago when he had it before it got busted or taken down or whatever.
Well, if you listen to Snafu,
and I do remember, I do remember Snafu, and him and Mark Fugel, I thought they'd got along, so, and then Snafu disappeared and I really didn't pay attention to him, because he apparently didn't strike me as being important enough to pay attention.
Do you remember a guy that was on the channel called Road to Prison?
No, but I remember Rip Curl.
You remember J Stone 78, LCJC family?
LCJC, yes.
Did you know that LCJC family is somebody that he harasses now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for the real harassment to start. So,
well, if it hasn't, if you don't know him personally and you don't have any real connections to him to where he can contact you, he doesn't know your real name or something like that, then you're probably fairly safe.
Well, there's a couple people that know my real name, and there's a couple.
What's up, Ishmael Davila? Oh, he's got your real phone number?
No, Snafu doesn't, but he's been trying to get it from certain people who do have it. So.
Well, they will probably end up getting browbeat to the point and manipulated to where they'll cough it up, possibly. And that's what he does. He manipulates people.
Can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. That's going to be really fun.
Well, he does that to pretty much everybody that he's ever encountered. He will harass and verbally assault and accuse and label and.
I didn't really have that much dealings with him until he jumped on my case about that. Oh fuck! What is this time?
He's part of the Panelverse, or is he?
No. He did all those videos about something or other soldier. Anyway, I downloaded all those videos. I've got those on backup.
Oh, was it Aura?
The something or other soldier. Somebody help me out here. Rip Curl.
Was it Aura and Christy? Aura and Christy? No. Concrete Cowboy?
No, because he's old school. He's about my age, so.
Oh, I don't know. So what did he do? He was just basically trying to tell you that you couldn't talk to people and trying to tell you what you can and you can't do.
Yeah, because I started going on a couple shows, like 007. That guy Richie went on his show. And
Richie from Boston?
No, not Richie from Boston. Good God.
All right. I don't know who these people are.
No, I watched his latest video tonight. Yeah, Richie kind of started getting out there.
You talking about Monograph? You ain't talking about Monograph.
That's it, damn it.
Chicken Little said so. Chicken Little said so.
Chicken Little
said, yeah, in the chat. Well, there you go, Chicken Little. You got it right. You guessed right. Yeah, it's Monograph that you're talking about. Well, Snafu Snaps has had a contentious relationship with Monograph, and he calls him a pedo. calls him. They allegedly claim that he was, I don't know the lure behind the Monograph thing. I don't pay much attention to Monograph. I watched his stream a few times, and I found him to be quite boring and nothing interesting. And it just seemed to be a place where everybody was in the chat hanging out.
Excuse me.
But
Sorry.
Oh, God bless you. And so I don't know what. So he said that you couldn't hang out with Monograph, or Monograph was a pedo pogo, and
Yeah,
because he went to the police. Snafu Snaps went to the police to have Monograph charged with crimes.
What crimes?
Whatever he could come up with. I was just maliciously prosecuted by Snafu Snaps in real life.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. And actually, I was listening to Tarek today because.
See you later, Ishmael.
Anyway, he was really, having a heyday on Snafu and his little group, that I didn't realize that there's a little group of these people now. So
there's it's not a little group, it's a pretty big group.
So Bex is part of this group too, correct?
Yeah, BEXX, yeah.
Yeah.
Bex and OTW and Jack Talcott and Cage Reality is a big part of it. Cage Reality sucks Snafu Snaps' penis like, it's his boyfriend.
Well, anyway, the other night, he was having a private. He'd already texted me, or what? Actually, Cage does have my phone number. But anyway,
shit! Cage got your number. He's going to give it to Snafu.
Well, he hasn't yet. So anyway,
if he does, he won't admit it.
I'll just block it anyway. It doesn't matter. But anyway,
well, if it's your real number and he could do a search on your number and get your real name, that's what he'll do. And then he'll look you up on other platforms. He'll look you up on social medias. He'll track you down on background check, and he'll try and figure out who you are. And he's an insane stalker.
He said he knew who I was. I said, okay, well, I said, pull up my record. Let's compare records. Put my criminal record up next to yours. And he's like, no, you do it. It's like, if you've already got it, why don't you just.
If you need Snafu Snaps criminal record, I can provide it for you.
Oh, that'd be lovely. But anyway, I contacted one of my dear sweet old friends. We'll see if he gets back to me. So, and he knows some people.
Well, let me tell you this about Snafu Snaps. He's all bark and no bite. He's like an annoying gnat that you try to swat at, or a mosquito where you're like, damn, that fucking mosquito just won't leave me alone, and you'll try to hit it with a fly swatter, and he'll escape through the little hole on the fly swatter, and he'll keep coming back. And in all reality, for all intents and purposes, if he doesn't have any real beef with you, and he doesn't have any revenge that he needs to get from you, and it's just a little don't tell me what to do, and kind of thing like that. I'm
sure he's going to be pissed off at me showing up here.
Well, yeah, he'll call you a pedo pogo, and people are threatened. I threatened his life, and I'm a very dangerous man. I'm unhinged, and whatever script that he pulls out of his ass, that's what he says about me. So
yeah, well, that's fine. I am on the other side of the country from him, so
Well, he couldn't literally physically get to you.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have two nickels to rub together. So that's but he's very, very annoying to deal with on a regular basis. If he sees you online, he'll come and harass you. He'll talk shit about you. He'll spread rumors. He'll smear you. He'll find out people that you associate with online, and he'll go to them and try to befriend them and tell them that you're a dangerous woman and you support pedo pogos. And he'll just do the typical fucking snafu snap spiel on anybody and everybody that he can to make you look bad. If that's at all that he can do.
Yeah.
But, that's his MO.
Yeah. But anyway, what really, really torqued my gizzard was that Cage wanted me to show up, and, I did, and I had things to do. So I was like, well, I can't get on live right now. I've got shit to do here. So anyway, when I did finally get around to hopping on the live, there was somebody named Lindsay. Now, I don't really know much about Lindsay. All I know is when I got there, I'm pretty sure that Snafu had been raking her across the coals.
Lindsay Smith?
I think so.
Or yeah. Linzilla?
Well, I had never seen her.
A real sweet voice, like a real cute voice.
Well, I didn't really get to hear her voice because of somebody running their fucking mouth. But anyway, anyway, it finally dawned on me what had happened, because I'm a little slow on the uptake on these things because I'm not a terribly social person, but I like to talk about different subjects, and I like to study. I like to do research, I'm really boring and I really do fucking knit. So anyway, I got accused of not knitting. So the picture up there is actually mosaic overlay crochet. So.
Well, so was he berating? He was berating Lindsay and giving her a hard way to go, and talking to her like trash.
I showed up and he lit into me, and it's like, oh no. So it's like, oh buddy, we don't do that. So he was hollering at me, and I'm very good with cuss words because my first husband was United States Navy, so I have a way with words. So I was hollering back, and he tried to bait me into saying the N word. I said, no, I'm not going to say. I said, no, I'm not going to say that because I'm not like you.
He likes to drop the N word because he likes people to believe that he's black when he's not. He's an Indian, like Apu at the 7-Eleven where he don't be raising the Jews. He's an Indian with a dot in his forehead. He's not black. He tries to portray himself as black and gives himself the right to drop the N-bomb with the hard R because he thinks that he's a man of color and he's allowed to do it because people call him a sand N-bomb. So that's his train of thought.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's interesting information.
And technically, he's not even a sand N-bomb because the sand N-bomb is Middle Eastern guys like Tariq.
Yeah, that would be the towelhead crew.
Right.
So no insult to anybody who wears a towel, but
well, yeah, that's
well, my first husband, he was in the first and I think he was in the first and second Gulf Wars. So anyway, so all I know is instead of Middle Eastern, you say towelhead and everybody knows what you're talking about. If you say Middle Eastern, it might be a little too complicated for someone in the Navy, and forget the jarheads, because they won't understand anything anyway. So anyway.
Right.
That sounds bad, but my brother was a Marine, but he did teach me well.
Right.
So anyway, I did write a note on my well, I don't do videos, but I did do a note on my community page post, and I took that down after I, decided to, send a little message to a friend of mine, and kind of cover my bases, so.
Right. Well, just if you want my advice with the clown, pay him no mind. Well, don't pay him no mind and laugh at him and tell him he's a joke. Just let him know that he's a failure. Just tell him, say, you're a failure. Just dig at his nerve. And, the guy, I don't know what you know about him, but he has a daughter that he doesn't take care of, and
Yeah, well,
he's a
I kind of
manipulator.
pushed that button. I pushed that button pretty good the other night too. So
Right.
he's mad about that.
Well, the truth
Yeah.
hurts, and guys like him don't take kindly to the truth because it really bothers them. So
And
it's
I
just
kind of have a problem with men who say that they, will live with a woman until it's too close to the time where they would be a common law wife, and then they boot them out.
right.
So that was my first tip off of that. This is probably a predator.
Well,
Hmm.
he's definitely a predator. LCJC family was doing some videos for him. He manipulated her and recruited her into doing his dirty work. This is something that he's known for. He manipulates women, and he sweet talks them and calls them honey and sweetie and all the things that because that's what he is. He's a manipulator, and
Well, the
so.
only thing that Snafu has said about me that is 100% correct is I am a bitch. So,
There you go.
I mean, I
Well,
earned that through decades of
Well, just
hard
don't
work.
let him manipulate. Right. Just don't let him manipulate you and get you to do his dirty work. He's
Now,
got
see,
Cynthia. You know who
now
What's Up
see,
Cynthia
Mom,
is? Do you
that's
know
how I
who?
pissed him off in the first place, though, dude.
Right. Well, do you know who What's Up Cynthia is? Who she is? Have you heard
Um,
of her?
well, he had her on, not, well, he put a video of her up. Wait a minute. She was live and he went live and was, um, showing her video of her live.
Right.
I made a comment in the thing, and then all of a sudden I got blocked from his channel. So I was
Well, that's what he
like,
does.
okay,
He's
that's
he's a
interesting.
very sensitive girl. He's kind of very feminine. So he's told people that he was dressed up as a lady boy when he was a younger little boy, and
Yeah,
that's probably really affected him. And he was probably a victim of pedophilia, and that's why he's so hell bent on you know exposing pedophiles and accusing everybody of
yeah,
being pedophiles. And he's probably got some deep seated trauma that he's never addressed. And he's got abandonment issues from hell. And he's an adopted individual. His mom and his biological parents he don't know who they are. And so he's got a lot
yeah,
of issues. I feel bad for the guy, kind of, just because it's who I am. I'm a very empathetic person. I got compassion and sympathy, but he kind of wears out you're feeling sorry for him factor real
yeah.
quick. And so I just suggest that you just stay away from him for the most, as best you can. And when you see him, don't engage with him. He'll try to pull you into some argument and
Yeah.
pissing contest or whatever it is. And
Yeah, well, I'm
so
not calling his name by his name anymore. I'll just call him the same name I gave him the other night.
call him a snitch whenever you talk to him, and say, you know what, you're a snitch. You called the police on Bad Apple Media and you tried to prosecute him, but you
Uh,
failed at even doing it. Just rub it into him that way. That's what I would suggest, and tell him, what are you going to do? Call the police on me too?
I
Just
just call
because
him a punk ass faggot. That's my term for him.
well, he abuses women. He accuses. He confesses his projections. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's the
Yeah.
mirror effect. He's got on his criminal record back in 07 or 08. Doesn't matter what year it was, but he has a personal protection order against him from a woman, and he violated that personal protection order at minimum 4 times and went to jail. For 10 days in the county jail over it for contempt of court. But he's steadily telling other men that, they're abusing women and whatever. And
Yeah.
he accuses this guy, Rat Blood, of being, some scumbag who built the bomb, and he's being charged with it. Well, Snafu Snaps went to prison in Colorado for blowing up a hotel room with butane while he's trying to make hash oil, and injured a pregnant woman at the time. And he spent some time in prison for arson. So he accuses a guy of, being a bomb maker while he himself exploded, blew up a building. a motel room. So it's always
Lord
project.
have mercy. The tangled web we weave. Oh my goodness.
It's always confession through projection. It's the mirror effect. Oh, here's Cage. Cage is on here. He's gonna start running his mouth. You want to talk? You want me to pull Cage up here?
Sure, pull him up.
Oh well, do I give Cage the applause factor, ladies and gentlemen? I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Cage Reality. What's up, man?
Welcome back.
Back to the welcome. How you guys doing? Ladies
I'm doing pretty good.
Terms.
I'm Peachy.
Peachy fine?
Peachy
I'll
King.
be straight up with you, Cage. I'm a little upset,
For what?
you giving Snafu room to bring on Lindsay and then, to
No,
let him.
Austin brought up Lindsay on the back thing. Nothing to do with him.
Yes, they are, and Newey.
All I know is she said thank you to me for showing up when Snafu went after me instead of her, and then she dropped off.
Snafu had nothing to do with Lindsay being brought up to the back thing. It had to do with Austin. Austin texted her. I guess they have personal contact, and she showed up. I have no interaction with her besides that.
Well, the fact that you associate with Snafu Snaps on a regular basis, Cage, is pretty. Well, you can do whatever you want, but it's pretty.
Who the fuck am I? Who are you trying to talk to?
Calm down, bro. Calm down, bro.
You calm down.
Do you want to leave?
Would you
like? You don't like to. You don't like to be confronted with the reality.
Reality of what?
You associate with a piece of shit, and birds of a feather flock together, bro. You don't know that?
Not really.
Yeah, that's really it does. What about the last time that you were on here and you got all butthurt because I was asking you if you're. Hold on, let me talk.
Say I'm butthurt, you fucking little pleb retard. Who are you talking to?
Whenever you want to come to the United States and meet up with me, you can handle it.
I'm all out in the United States. Come over here.
Well, maybe you should be a better person.
Okay, well, maybe you should too. I'm pretty
sure. I can come over to send me your address and I can come over to Canada.
All right, 170 Chalk Farm Drive. Meet me over there.
Here, put it in the backstage.
170 Chalk Farm Drive. Meet me over there, tough guy. Well, I'd love to see you come over there and see what the fuck happens.
That's probably the Bales. He's probably giving me the address.
Yeah, maybe at the Earl Bales. We'll make a nice fire.
What's up, Lindsay? No, hold on. Calm down. So let me. You're not a tough guy, Cage. Trust me, you're not a tough guy.
Buddy, you want to know, okay?
You're not a tough guy. Calm down. You're not a tough guy. Trust me.
All right, bro. You're too wolfy.
You're not a tough guy, bro. Trust me.
Are you sure?
Now let me finish what I'm saying.
Are you sure?
Quiet down, tough guy. Quiet
down, non-tough guy.
Call the Hell's Angels and have them fight your battles for you.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
That's what you say constantly. That's what you constantly say.
No, I said my great uncle was a president of it.
I don't really give two fucks about the Hell's Angels.
It's on the news.
They don't intimidate me. Okay, so the last time that you were here, yeah, Lindsay's in the chat. Lindsay's in the chat. The last time you were here, you got butthurt when I confronted you over the CSIS program.
What, CSIS?
And then you rage quit and you left.
You kicked me
off. No, I didn't, you liar. You fucking rage quit. Shut the fuck up.
All right, so let me not.
You rage quit. You rage quit.
All right, let me not rage quit.
You rage quit.
So here,
you rage quit.
Your point.
You rage quit. You rage quit. You rage quit. So let me finish what I'm saying. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me, Snafu. I'm going to backstage it. I'm trying to talk here, Snafu Jr. Shut your fucking mouth while I talk. I'm going to bring you back up, but shut your fucking mouth while I can ask you the question. You going to shut up? Okay. Now, the last time you were here, the last time you were here, you rage quit. You disappeared. I told you that. I said what I said.
Just like you did.
Now you'll sit backstage while I ask the question, and then I'll pull you up so you can answer it. And if you don't answer it, I'll backstage you again. Because this is how I pull my show. You guys don't like it? You don't like to be backstage? Well, that's just too fucking bad. So the last time you were here, you got butthurt when I confronted you about you being part of the CSIS program that Bex is a part of, and OTW is a part of, King Stephen's a part of, and all you Canadian motherfuckers are a part of some shit. It's clear. The patterns are evident. It's obvious to me. So after you rage quit, and OTW wasn't live for 9 days, you went to OTW, and he does a live stream the next day, and you guys are literally like addressing what I accused you of the night before, and then you kind of got separated. He said, "Oh, you're going to kick you off here," and it was almost like a scripted act. And then you disappeared from it with you and Voy was on there, and then he disappeared. OTW disappeared for another 8 or 9 days. So tell me, why did you? My question is, why did you go on OTW the very next day? Did you contact him and ask him to do a live stream so you could come up and save face? Now, start yelling and screaming. I'm going to backstage you. Answer the question like a man.
Yeah, buddy, you're fucking paranoid. I have no outside contact with fucking OTW. You're out of your mind.
So why did you go on his channel the next day?
Canadian, French Canadian little bitch.
Whoa. I asked you a question. Why did you go on his channel the next day? And you didn't even mention coming onto my shit, and you do what you do. Now you want to call him a French Canadian bitch.
The world doesn't revolve around you, okay?
It doesn't revolve around you.
Exactly.
Oh, there. All right, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Now we got somebody in the house that I've been looking to talk to for a while. Please welcome Machine Lies. What's up, brother?
You're fucking delusional, buddy.
Hey, greetings, sir.
Hold on, Machine Lies. I'm delusional, right? Your guys' patterns are
yes, you are.
You're clear and evident.
Completely delusional.
I'm
fuck around delusional. And find out for real. Yeah.
Well, how am I going to fuck around and find out?
I don't know. Keep fucking pressing it, man.
With who? With you? What are you going to do about it?
Not me, but somebody.
Who? What? Who? With CSIS?
I have no clue.
Your partners in the program?
No, we're not in CSIS, bro. You think these people are a part of CSIS? None of us are.
That's
like the CIA of Canada. Okay.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is.
All right, and they work with partners in the United States and abroad.
Right. Yeah.
They're not a part of that bullshit.
Right.
What do you mean?
Well, your patterns are pretty evident. Anyways, what's up, Machine Lies? What's up, Machine Lies?
Yeah, blessings. Yeah, what's going on?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, greetings. Yeah.
So, what do you think about all this Cage guy here?
Yeah, Cage.
No
I've talked to
idea.
Cage several times.
I know. So you've had interactions with this goof guy?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, several interactions. Yeah.
I'm not fucking goofy. Actually,
you're pretty fucking goofy, dude.
Oh, look at you! You fucking.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me. Why'd you mute yourself? You got a lot of noise in the background from all them fans.
Yeah, that's why I'm fucking muted, because I'm a goddamn grower, idiot.
Growing that dope, huh?
I'm a federal license for it too, idiot.
You putting that government nutrients in there? You putting them government nutrients in it?
You know nothing about botany. You're a fucking pleb. I want to hear it.
Oh, all right. Is that all you got as insults, bro? I'm asking a question. You put the government nutrients in your weed?
No, it's OMRI. It's fucking organically.
Yeah, he's growing weed for the Canadian government for sure.
Right. putting that
microchips into your lungs, man. Yeah, bro. Fuck off.
You're kind of annoying, Cage. All right, hey, Cage, you've had nothing.
You gotta have like a government license to like grow weed in Canada or something. Like
I do. Sure. Health Canada, I've had it for over a decade. Shut the fuck up.
And you can't grow it without using government approved nutrients. which puts the brain fuck shit
okay.
in.
Just like when you go grab a tomato from the store, there's something called OMRI, right? So if you go grab something labeled organic, like the fucking fruits and vegetables and the fucking meat and all the shit you eat, it has a standard to it. Okay, shut the fuck up and go back to your grocery store.
Dude, you're growing weed for the government, and you put
It's not for the government, you fucking goof. What are you?
You put nutrients. This guy's annoying. You put nutrients in the weed to grow it. You don't grow it without any nutrients. You put it in the fucking soil. I know how to grow weed, dude. So if you're doing it for the federal government, you're putting the nutrients in it, and they've perfected some concoction in that weed to fuck people's brains up. So tell me I'm wrong.
Microchips are available, brothers and sisters. You know, RFID chips that right into your brain stem.
How old are you? How old are you, dude? All right. How old are you?
Oh, hell, I'm older than time itself. I'm older than time itself, brother.
Are you like about 15 years old?
When I was 14 years old, I got into the industry, brother.
I'm asking you a question because your communication skills are very infantile.
So anyways, the power to put me backstage and not hear the answer.
Well, there you go. So what's happening, Machine Lies? How's it going, brother?
Yeah, blessings, sir. Yeah, I've been meaning to contact you for a minute, so I will.
No, that's cool. Yeah, you got my email. So
yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I seen it just today. So
yeah, somebody, I forget who it was. It was Browns Boy, I think maybe. He came and said that you were doing a live and you were sharing information and stuff like that about these people online in the Panelverse.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but yeah, we definitely agree on like 90% of, like the Panelverse. I think it's all fake, honestly. I think it's contrived. I think they're working with larger networks and so on and so forth. So I've tried my, well, obviously I don't have a lot of time to focus on, just reacting to panels, right? So I've, sort of confined that only to one stream that I do called Made by Machine Bob. But yeah, on the regular show, I literally just look at scholarly materials. Like we look at like research,
the philosophers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. The newest research that's being done, like in philosophy, history, like political science, so on and so forth. I've studied those things at a university level, so I just like to talk to people about that. And I don't like to monetize my channel or try to like have big name content creators come on. I like to just have discussions with regular people. So
right, that's cool.
I'm pretty much a regular person.
Machine Lies, Paula, Machine Lies.
Machine Lies, sir. Do I cause a lot of trouble on your panel?
You guys know each other?
Except, yes, I've been on his panel one or two times.
Yeah, Paula was there. Yeah.
The only thing I did was I got mad at Rocky for being stupid, but other than that, it was a pretty good discussion.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, Paula, Lindsay Smith is in the chat.
Yeah, I saw her. I said hi to her.
Okay.
If she wants to come up, she's welcome to. I mean, I'm in
she is.
show. I'm sorry,
but she is. She is. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, Browns Boy definitely owns his own house. You should go pay him a visit, Lindsay. I think he'd appreciate that.
Well, Cage Reality exited stage left while he was backstage. He didn't like waiting. Too bad.
Apparently, Tarek is here too. Enslaved Truth.
I think Tariq is here. Oh, he's back. Cage is back. He didn't go far. He's still backstage waiting. I have a hard time wanting to bring him back up because he's just a disruptor.
Yeah, I think I've been on NPC's panel a couple times. And my favorite person there is usually Avian Buddha because he knows so much shit. The guy has a brain from I don't know where.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
real
He's close
smart.
to genius. Yeah, he's close to genius
Yeah.
levels. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I was just talking to him for like 3 hours before this. so I talked to Avian Buddha quite a lot. Actually, he's one of the people I talk to most on the internet, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've watched my videos and you've paid attention to what I've been saying. And Cage Reality says, "Bad Apple, you were fucking with the wrong people." Ooh, I'm so scared.
That's his go-to line. Yeah.
I know he's a fucking clown. But so I don't know if you've been paying attention to my videos and you've seen what I've been dealing with the internet fucking running their mouth about me here and there.
Oh yeah.
The little minions of Snafu Snaps.
Yeah.
And, pushing his narrative, and I had Hank up in here whining and crying, about this or that before, and he kind of calmed down today. Shocker. But Cynthia's just steady fucking blowing her Oreo cupcake like he's something special, and it just goes on and on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Cynthia, I've only watched maybe 10, 15 minutes of her show, period, all time. And that's when I got booted from Snafu's chat. So I got banned from there.
You got booted from Snafu's chat because you were watching Cynthia?
Yeah, I made a comment, I just stated that in 1973 women were given the right to own property in their own name. I said before that we were basically living in slavery to men. If we didn't have a place to go, we didn't have our own place.
Well, one thing that you probably don't know about Snafu is that he's a woman hater. He hates women because his mommy abandoned him. He hates the woman who accepted him as her son and gave him her last name, an adopted mom. He calls her, the C word, and calls her a bitch, and he hates women. Whether he'll ever admit it or not, it doesn't much matter. But he hates women.
I'd agree with that. That's pretty much what I've observed also.
Well, I've known the guy since like 2019. I know him fairly well, and I can rest assured that the guy's he's out of his fucking mind. But
the only thing I remember from him way back when was when he was hanging around Marv, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. So I didn't know what happened to him after that. So.
Well, he disappeared after hanging out with Marv because Marv was tired of promoting him and helping him build channels after he kept getting his channels deleted for doing the pedo pogo shit, and being warned, hey, you know what, if you get your channel deleted again, we're not helping you. And then he get his channel deleted, and so Marv got tired of it, and Snafu got a little upset because Marv didn't give him the attention that he required. And so Snafu vowed in late 2019 December to be exact, he vowed to make Marfugal pay dearly on the internet for abandoning him. And I got the text messages to prove it. So, and I've shown him on here a long time. So he has issues with anybody who doesn't want to have a relationship or any connection to him. He the old saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorn. You guys know that one, right?
Right.
Well, hell hath no fury like a Snafu snaps scorn. So
well, he don't know me that well yet. He's about to find out. So
well, that's why he came after me, because he was harassing and stalking me for about 3 years on my streams. He'd come in the chat and run his mouth and call me a traitor and a sellout because he thinks that I took a bribe of sorts. There's a lot of that weird shit going on with some of these people on here. They think that we can, or people can be bribed. I'm sure it can be, but not me. And I was bribed by Marfugal to not share my audio recordings between me and Marfugel and Dex J, the digital experience guy. No, it's got nothing to do with it. My conversations are private and I don't share them with anybody. And, you know, I declined and he didn't like it. And so the best way for him to get back at somebody that's scorn is trigger them with his shock journalism to get them to commit a crime. And I told him one night when he was harassing me on my live stream on a telephone call, he called me on my cell phone because he couldn't get to me in the chat and told me, you know, you're a sellout, you're a traitor, you know, whining and crying like a bitch, and told him I was going to fucking kick his ass. And he ran to the police, clipped my video, took it to the police from the Gilbert, Arizona Police Department, sent a police report over here to Macomb County. Your machine lies. You're here in Michigan. So they sent it, they sent it to Macomb County. And Macomb
I live
County,
near Detroit. So, so I'm close to where Tarek lives pretty much.
Right. So, you know, Gilbert, Arizona sent a report here to Macomb County Sheriff. Macomb County Sheriff called me, detective, and said, "Did you say that you were going to beat up Snafu Snaps?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it's on video. Why would I lie about it, right?" I said, "Yeah, I said it, but it's just internet stupid shit." I said, "The dude fucking harasses and stalks me. He's been fucking with me for over 3 years, and I'm tired of it." So they prosecuted me. Not necessarily because they actually think that Snafu Snaps was a poor little victim. More or less is because I've been a thorn in the side of the government here in my area for a long time, where I don't take their shit, and they thought that this might be a way to get back at me.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, where so, it's like, where you have like continued run-ins with like certain people or whatever.
Well, it's just funny. So.
Yeah, but you know, you mentioned because one of the things I saw was this court document that you pulled up, and of course I showed that on my show, right, where it said that Snafu was working with somebody named Officer Montgomery or something.
Yeah, it was. He previously worked with Detective Montgomery on a case, and that was
that's what I wanted to know.
That was more than likely him trying to prosecute Montegraph.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was about.
Oh, okay.
So what do you want? You want some police reports and emails, and you want to out Snafu Snaps, or you just want something specific?
Well, no, I'm not really that interested in him. He has taken a certain level of interest in me, as have a lot of the characters online, right? Because you know, so I think like a lot of the characters like Cynthia, you know, the powdered Dusty,
the powdered crackhead, the powdered pussy,
Snafu, and like a lot of them, like obviously, like originally, like I had problems with all of them. See, Cynthia and the powdered Dusty actually come from you know, the Paul and Slaves panel, right? Like there were other places before that. I believe they were like in a personality profiling group where it's like they look at personality types, and then like you go and talk to people who are like typed into like Jungian like personality types or something like that. So there was like internet groups that had this or whatever, and then they went on Paul and Slaves panel. You know, Cynthia and Flow State were there like almost every day. You know, it seemed like, or like you know, like you just turn on Paul and Slaved. Yeah, you know, you could turn on Paul and Slaved and they'd be there a lot. Yep. You know, it seemed like and they'd sit there for like hours when they were on there. And they had pretty good relations with Paul and Slave as well.
Yeah.
And Cynthia just went from like pretty much from Paul's panel to then Jack's panel. You know, a lot of them started moving and transitioning to Jack's panel and started supporting Jack Talcott in like sort of a fake way.
Panel hoppers.
And then, and then Dusty started his panel. And then they all sort of congregated at Dusty's panel attacking Paul Enslaved. So they had all of these shows where, you know, basically the Powdered Dusty was just making tons of shows trying to basically clout chase off of Paul Enslaved, trying to make his new show. So that's like a 3-year transition that happened from Paul's show to Jack Talcott show to then, you know, the Powdered Dusty show.
Well, don't forget about OTW.
Yeah. OTW kind of like OTW was first against Paul on another channel called We Are Awake TV, and then Paul took over OTW's channel.
Yeah. So, I've only really been around since like June, after I was maliciously prosecuted and I was being charged, and I'm like, where the fuck is this Snafu Snaps motherfucker hang out on the internet?
Yeah, I was here since 2002. Sorry, 2022. So 2022 I came on the panels, and then so the last 4 years I've been observing these people pretty much.
You've recognized the patterns and their typical behaviors, right?
Yeah, like 3.5 years I've been like observing them. They've came on my panel a bunch of times, or whatever. Right. If you go like back in the past, but then I started like making my panels more just like me talking about like scholarly shit, and then they just stopped coming. Right?
Yeah, you cut the drama out so they didn't have any fuel for their fire. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But you were still paying attention to them, and I seen you around a little bit, and I was like, curious, because I'm still learning the lore, as they call it here. It's just, who's connected to who, and you're right. I noticed that Cynthia, she's a clout chaser. She does what she does, and I wasn't around when she was on Paul and Slave, but she was steady on OTW for a while, and then she they had to falling out, and Paul and Slave kind of got her exiled from OTW. and then she took off and started hanging out with other content creators, and she found her way to trying to promote Snafu Snaps, and does all of his dirty work. Like he gets the women, he manipulates the weak, the insecure, lonely women. Not all of them are insecure or whatnot, but he's a good manipulator. I'll give Snafu Snaps credit. He's a very, very good at what he does. He can sweet talk, women and some men into doing his dirty work for him. And so, Cynthia is, carrying his water lately,
Gentlemen, I'm going to step down if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you popping up here, Paula.
Yeah, I just wanted to show up and find out a little more information of what I was dealing with.
Well, hopefully you learned a little bit, and you heed my warning. Stay away from the guy. Don't get too close to him, or let him get too close to you, I should say. So you're welcome to come back here anytime you want, Paula.
All right. Well, thank you much.
And you take care.
Later, Machine.
Yeah, blessings, madam.
All
Peace out, Paula.
Bye-bye.
So, but yeah, that's the patterns that I see,
Yeah, I don't know if you've met Aluma Tommy as well, right?
Yeah, I know who he is. He's a little wild. He's a wild card, but I've had normal conversations with him. He doesn't. Yeah. I don't mind him. I think he's all right guy.
Yeah. So Aluma Tommy, Snafu, and also Jack Talcott, right? They're in contact with somebody named Rose 777 or whatever, and they've like lived at her house or something like that, right?
And stayed at her house, and she's supposed to be like some InfraGard training grounds or something, like a handler.
Well, she might be maybe involved in producing, or at least this is according to her, she may be involved in producing shows, right? So there's an aspect to it where Aluma Tommy, Jack Talcott, and Paul Enslaved all went on this lady's show called Lauren De Laguna and gave like these huge interviews, right? So this happened early on when I started watching, right? So when you look into this lady, Lauren De Laguna, she's actually pretty popular on the internet, right? She's like she's much larger content creator. Like, for example, like Montegraph, who Snafu was like trolling or whatever, right? He came on Jack Talcott's show, and he also came on the Powder Dusty show, right? And just started hanging out with them. right? And that's when Tarek changed his name to T Reigns.
Okay.
Right, because like he was like having a correspondence with Montegraph, right? And also he was protecting Snafu online at the time, Tarek, right? So it was interesting because Tarek had like a whole time when he was first like just showing up on Paul's panel, and then he started then he stopped going to Paul's panel and started corresponding with Snafu. So
right.
yeah, so it's pretty interesting, their patterns. But yeah.
Well, one thing that I realized, or it was brought to my attention, I should say, is when Snafu Snaps drugged me into the Panelverse. I give it in, like I put it into a visual. Now just imagine me walking down the street, minding my own business, and I walked by this secret club on Broadway, and the doors flung open, and I was drug into this club by people I didn't know, and I realized it was Snafu Snaps. He drugged me into this club, and then I realized that oh, look at all these people in here, and then so I'm kind of like the odd man out. I'm not part of this community. I'm not welcomed into the community, which is fine. I'm not looking to be welcomed into the community. I'm an outsider, and I see a community that I personally would not have voluntarily, willingly participated in, because it's a pretty despicable group of people.
So is that Marfugel news, or you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the Panelverse when Snafu Snaps did what he did to me, and he drugged me in it. Marfugel isn't much different, at the time when I met the Marfugel group is. And I have a theory on that. Me and Brown's Boy have discussed it a little bit and whatnot. But I think that these social media platforms, YouTube and others, but YouTube particularly, they have the ability through their system or AI or whatever it is, that they can target specific individuals with particular videos that will be of interest to the target, so they will click on that video, and it draws their attention to it, and then the video is or the content creator in the video is what the target would be interested in. You know what I mean? Like, it's specifically designed. Yeah, I mean, it might be some paranoid schizophrenic type of shit, you never know, but it just seems like that's what's happening. And so when I met Marfugel, I was going through, some, wildlife experiences where, I was looking at the potential of dying and, having to have open heart surgery. And you start contemplating life a little bit when you're looking at those types of things, like, well, I could die on the table and, whatever. So I made a pact or an agreement, or I prayed fairly heavily to what, my Heavenly Father. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to dedicate my life. If, I make it through this, and, I want to have a purpose, so I decided that I was going to give my attention and my free time to defeating the evil of the world. And lo and behold, Snafu Snaps pop back up into my life, and I call him a fisher of demons, not fisher of men. I call him a fisher of demons. And I met him through the Marfugel network, back in 2018 and 19, and I regret it, but nonetheless, the Marfugel community it's fear porn. It's a bunch of garbage, and whatnot. And it is what it is. And I moved past that and tried going on with my life and doing the type of content and sharing information that I thought was, necessary to do, and pointing out those on the internet that are full of shit. and that are what I call harmful content. And that's what I've been focused on. So, you know, it's got me, you know, in a couple of peculiar situations with, you know, people connected to the Marfoogle network, and now the Panelverse with this Snafu character, you know, in the real life. So it is what it is. You live and you learn, right?
Yeah, I had sort of a similar, I guess, genesis. Even in terms of, you know, I was first, I guess, published a book. So then I went on The Crucible, and at that time it was a very small debate show, right? It wasn't a giant, like 200K subscriber channel as it is now, right? It was actually less than 10K subscribers at the time. And if you were going to do a debate on that channel, there may be like a couple hundred people watching it, but it wasn't really that big, right? So
Right.
So I went there to debate Christianity versus Islam, right? And I think I performed pretty well, but I sort of antagonized the host for a while, right? So then I finally debated him live. Right, and this is still before the channel got really, really popular, but there was still it was still pretty popular at the time. There was like maybe 10K subscribers now on the channel, right? So I debated the host, and he's now like on the news channels and stuff, right?
Okay.
But that debate kind of left me in a place where I had a lot of disagreements with the community there, and of course, I was not invited back to debate on that channel because like he went on to like go to the Whatever podcast, and he kind of stopped doing debates with like smaller groups, right? He was only debating like large celebrities at this point, right? So I went on to go to another channel called the Chalk Body Outline, and that's where I met all of these panel people.
Okay.
You know, so I like called into that show. And first, we would review and critique channels like The Crucible, right? So I saw they were interested in exposing content creators, right? So I would try to expose, you know, content creators with them. And then one day I turned it on.
Expose them in what manner? Like for being shills or phonies?
Yeah, for being shills and stuff. And then one day I turned it on and they were exposing me. Right? So I said, "Oh, this is interesting." Right?
Okay.
So I tried to call in, and they wouldn't allow me to call into the show. Right?
So they launched a smear campaign against you.
Yeah. So they launched a huge smear campaign against me, like you know, looking up like you know my private information, and then you know, you know all that stuff. So then I launched an attack campaign against the you know Panelverse or whatever, right? So yeah.
So who is behind looking into your your private life? Who was behind the smear campaign? Any particular pinpoint, or was it just a bunch of them?
I would say there's a bunch of people, a bunch of different people. Right? Like I think like people, there's like a particular. Obviously, this particular group that I just mentioned, right? But other than them, I think they're kind of like talking to a lot of other groups that I found were like suspicious, and talking to all these other groups in this area. Like Illumitami was one of the guys who always came on their channel, and also Jack Talcott. Right. So yeah, just a lot of the people in this area I met through that group of people. And then when I first started my live streams, of course, all these people would come on my live stream, right? So I would.
Well, have you come to any, recognition of the patterns of like any connections? Because I personally see like individuals who are connected to this guy was an ex-military member, this guy was an ex-prisoner. This guy was in the Proud Boys.
Oh yeah,
I think this guy was in. So
well, that's something I mentioned on my show. On my last show, I said that 90% of the YouTube is ex-military, ex-prison, or they were part of some occult organization. right?
Right.
Which either they'll openly admit, or after several conversations with them, you sort of figure it out, because
Right.
they sort of espouse a very particular set of beliefs and ideologies that they
Right.
couldn't have learned by accident, right? So,
Yeah. Almost like a psychological training program.
right.
Psychological warfare.
Right. So so I have noticed that 90% of people here are sort of belong to those categories. And then I've also seen, as I was saying, right, like people like the Crucible or Montegraph or Crow 777 Radio, right, or Alex Stein, or people that are part of much larger networks, right, sort of be regularly visiting some of these smaller channels and groups. Right. So there
Right.
seems to be a particular amount of coordination, and like obviously, we unveiled on the last Made by Machine Bob that we did, the links between the Powder Dusty and Enrique Tarrio of the Proud Boys and so on and so forth.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
so it's kind of weird that almost all of them have some sort of media connections, and
Well, I could be wrong, but I think from people that I used to pay attention to before, they did a little dive. I think it was Enrique Tarrio. He's Proud Boys, right?
Yeah.
And then there's what's the other fucking group? Like off the top of my head, the ones what the hell was it? Antifa. Somebody was,
right,
I don't know if it was Antifa, but the backstory with Enrique is, I could be wrong with this, but anyways, whoever the leader was of the Proud Boys, which is Enrique, his father was a general in the military or something of that nature. He was adopted. If I could, I don't think I'm mistaken, but I could be. I'm just trying to go off of memory here, and it's been a while, but there was a general in the military who was in charge of the psychological operations program who adopted 2 kids, and one was Enrique and the other one was running the head of the other program, the other Proud Boy-esque type of shit. I forget what the hell the name of the program is, but
yeah, it's interesting.
But this was something that was a proven fact back in the day. Pretty sure it was Enrique. And he's the guy with the beard, like a Spanish looking dude with a beard. And anyways, I don't want to go on and on and trying to crack my brain trying to think of who it was. But you remember the video 2000 Mules that was regarding the election process and the stolen election and whatnot a while back. Do you remember that video that came out?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
You may have heard of it. Well, then there was a follow-up video that was done by Millie Weaver from Alex Jones. It was PSYOP to Steal.
Yeah.
If you watch that video, PSYOP to Steal, you can see what they're doing, in the grand scheme. But I remember, if you ever remember a woman named Amazing Polly?
I think that rings a bell. Yeah.
Well, she was a YouTuber that was kicked off when she started talking about the Jabadoo and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
And so she, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that she did a video and she showed, all the connections. She used to do really deep dives on a lot of this stuff, and she's the one that uncovered that. But nonetheless, the system that's out here, I've done, some investigation and looking into, research, whatever you want to call it, into InfraGard. And that is, an FBI program that uses NGOs to facilitate, homeland security type of stuff, the infrastructure, and, keeping, things on and which is, in my opinion, a way for them to do the gang stalking which is another way for them to expand it from conducting these psychological operations on the streets, and they brought it into the online community. Yeah. And so they gang stalk people who, you know, like myself, who share truth. So I'm a target, in my opinion, by, you know, whether it's agents of the government or whatnot. I don't have any proof, but the patterns are very recognizable. And so that's where I've gotten to my system of belief to this day.
Yeah, we had a guy, you know, that was actually working with the Chalk Body Outline group that was much more prominent, that was like exposing, QAnon and stuff, but he passed away, named Davy Crocco. And some of his, journalistic, work was actually very notable, right? He was looking into like transhumanism, and he was also exposing, right before he passed, the Child Protective Services to human trafficking, like pipeline, and so on and so forth. And
that's a source of children, correct?
Yeah, he was working on some real issues there. And that's one of the main reasons I got in contact with that, group, because he was actually exposing the Crucible, right? Because I was, they're part of the Crucible group, and he kind of went in there and said that they were sort of, going against Owen Benjamin and making all this content against Owen Benjamin to sort of clout chase off of him. So he was saying that all of their content against Owen Benjamin was sort of manufactured, right, to gain clout. Right. And so that was a very interesting idea that he put forward. And ever since seeing that, I noticed like a lot of the content and the drama is sort of manufactured, sort of gay ops, where the two sides are sort of know in advance that they're supposed to go against each other.
Right. Yeah. It's just, it gives the appearance of controversy and, in this battle. And the same thing with the Panelverse, one day they hate each other, the next they're buddies again. Like somebody sent me a message, that said that Snafu Snaps and Cynthia broke up.
Right.
Cynthia did a video and she's like, Snafu Snaps, I'm not gonna do your shit no more, blah blah blah.
Yeah, they did that 20 times already. Yeah, like over the course of 3 years, they've done that 10 times already. So.
Right. And so when am I supposed to go? Oh my God, now they're not friends no more. Well, it's just part of the script, because
exactly. Yeah.
I let into Snafu Snaps pretty good earlier today and the rest of the people and Snaps showed up on Jack Talcott, not long after I ended my stream, and he was on there. He was very docile. He was very, very calm and chill. He wouldn't come in there with his aggressive, pedo pogo shit and threatening Jack and calling him a rapist and all that. And even Paul showed up because I was giving Paul shit in my live. And, these guys all stealth watch, and if they don't stealth watch, they come back and they zip through it and they get bits and pieces and they know that I don't have any love for them,
Well, one of the main reasons, I just could not talk to Snafu anymore, right? Or just entertain anything he basically says. Like take anything he says seriously anymore. Is that he got $20, from Grace Thorpe the other day to LARP.
Right.
And on Jack.
Yeah, I was there. It was about me.
Yeah. And if that doesn't prove that he's like basically just a pedo pogo, because he's been crying pedo pogo on Grace Thorpe for so long. So he basically works with the pedo pogos, right? So this is basically it. Right. So for the extremely dumb person who doesn't understand anything about informants and cops and they don't understand the relevance of any of that, Snafu Snaps is projecting he's basically is a pedo pogo himself.
Right. Exactly. I got text messages from him telling me back in 2019 that him and his team have information. He's always talking about a team, whether, you can assume that it's, Planet X watcher or this person or that person and Cynthia, you know, or what changes. But when I was dealing with Snafu Snaps back in 19, 20, 21, and early 22, when I finally cut loose, there was some really strange things that occurred with him. I literally would go to one of my best friend's house that I've known since I was 13 years old. My best friend to this day. I would go to his house just out of the blue, no schedule, just one day, you know, at night, one day, you know, I go to his house anytime I want, right? And every single time I would go to this dude's house, my buddy, Snafu Snaps, would call me. And then even my buddy was like, dude, why the fuck does that dude call you? Because I would tell my buddy, yeah, I met this dude online. He's a fucking weirdo, bro, and blah, blah, blah. And so my phone would ring, and I'd show him the phone. I go, look, it's that motherfucker calling me again. And then he was like, dude, he goes, does he call you all the time? I said, no. It seems like he only calls me when I come over here. And he's like, what the fuck, bro? He goes, what is he doing? Tracking you and stalking you? And I said, I think so. And that's when I was like, I've got to get rid of this fucking guy. And is it possible that he could, because he accuses Dex J, the Marfugal producer,
that's why
of being, you know, some guy who could track your phone and blah blah. And I'm like, I don't believe that he and Marfugal and them are so far separate. I think they're all in the same. They're all part of it, and it's the hatred or the animosity between them all is just some sort of, you know, scripted act of sorts, you know. And so I believe that the dude was tracking my phone somehow. As crazy as it sounds, but what are the fucking odds that every time I went to my buddy's house, he'd fucking call me?
Yeah, I got like a closet, and whatever, like where I like live, where I put my cell phone. So if I want to use it, I have to
like
go.
A Faraday cage.
Yeah, I gotta like go in the little thing to like use the cell phone, right? So like,
Right.
So the thing is like, I don't really like take my cell phone with me. Like I don't carry it with me. And so yes, I highly advise against like carrying a cell phone. First of all, because of just the radiation is poisoning you, you know, and then secondly, you know, obviously it's, you know, you're being tracked everywhere you go just because you have it, right? So
for sure.
possibly just putting it in a place in your house and treating it like a home line, you know, is probably the best option.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but you know, in my line of work, I'm a truck driver and I kind of need it. You know, I don't flip maps like I used to, and I need to communicate with you know, people, and you know, so
that's one thing that's one thing we talk about,
you know,
on the show a lot, is that, you know, the technology, it, you know, it starts off as a convenience and then it becomes a necessity. So we're basically enslaved to the tools we make, you know, right? So
and I've pointed this out myself many times, and I always say, you know, the computer, it's an amazing intervention, but you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. The cell phone, it's an amazing invention, good, you can use it for bad. All the way back from the beginning of time, you know, whether, you know, it was a flame, it was a great invention, right? Great discovery, but you could use it for good or you could use it for evil. It doesn't matter what it is, you know. You could take that flame and you could, you know, make a fire and keep your cave warm. Or some sinister motherfucker, Snafu Snaps caveman, could say, fire, burn down, asshole house. You know, so, you know, you could do whatever, you know, it's always, you know, a good and evil. A hammer that can help you build a house, or you could go and beat the shit out of somebody. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if he's tracking people's cell phones, it's not outside the range of possibility that, like, he may have just, like, you know, he was targeting somebody when he, like, set that place on fire or some shit.
Well, you know, I believe it was the mother of his kid. You know, at the time, you know, his daughter's about the right age to where, dark. You know, the mother of his kid was in that hotel room and she was pregnant. And he was making hash oil and blew it up.
That's dark.
You know, his daughter has, you know, I won't even get into it, but But the dude doesn't even take care of his daughter. That's kind of a scumbag he is. But then he goes and accuses Landry of being a piece of shit. He gave up his wife and his kids so he could be an internet star. Well, that would be the pot calling the kettle black, but it is none of my business.
Yeah, Landry is more and more just like kind of like professionally minded and a little bit dismayed by the behavior of the people here. I'm not really too worried about Landry that much. But
no, I think he's harmless, even though he works with Alex Stein.
Right. But I think even Alex Stein may be, to a large degree, just a pawn in the game.
An unwitting and unknowing, tool. Which a lot of people in the game are. I say that, and I say it all the time. Like if you're not working directly for, because I've been exposing First Amendment, auditors, so to speak, for years. And I've said over and over again, like, particular big YouTubers are, the radicalizers of other YouTubers. They are, the gatekeepers to that community. They are, individuals who have backgrounds in psychological operations, in my personal opinion, which is associated with the military that they served in, whether it be a contractor or directly, enlisted or, whatnot. But I've done this for a long time, and I've said over and over again that they, not all of them are knowing participants and working for InfraGard or CSIS, the Canadian version of it, or the NGOs, but they're doing exactly what those who are directly working for them. So they allow them to be a part of the community that they're a part of, and they grow, thinking that they're just some, helpful and useful, schlub in the grand scheme of things, when they don't even know that the government says, well, Channel John here he doesn't even know that he's bidding our fucking, our plan for us. So we just let them keep doing it because they're doing exactly what the shills are doing, So it's all just, I guess you would, instead of saying guilty by association, but approved by association.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like when you have a sort of like mimetic complexity, you could use like memes, right? Which is like you use like words and images in a way that the image is not normally associated with the word, right? But you train people to associate this image with this word, right? So like simply put, like you can then sort of restructure, like whenever they think of this word, they'll think of this image or this person in this way, so that's sort of like mimetic warfare, like layering,
hieroglyphic type of shit where
that's the basic element in it. And they sort of train like in the CIA or whatever, like they'll train you to like associate like image with like a picture with like a smell or a taste or something. So there's like 3 layers of code attached to something, right? And if you could train people to associate things that are not associated and code things in that way, then it'll expand their ability to think about things, right? So it's kind of like
like word association. And when they see a symbol, they know that, oh, this is one of us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like the ghost figure, like or when like somebody has an email with 007 at the end of it, and multiple people, and they have 007, or their channel name will have a 333 at the end of it, and multiple people have 333 at the end of it. It sends that,
I saw you talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it sends that message to each other that they know that they're all part of it, you know.
Yeah, right.
Like Rose 777 and Snafu Snaps 007 or whatever, you know. It just it's pattern recognition where you'd be like, oh, well, how come that person has 333 at the end of their name, and that one has 333 at the end of their name, and it just happens to be a bunch of fucking Canadians, you know. So it's you know it's not that difficult to recognize if you pay attention, but a lot of people, are they not paying attention or are they just ignoring it? Because you know I've had many a times where I say, why is it that this, you know, these people in the Panelverse aren't over here in my live stream? Not that I give two shits that there's nobody there, but it's just really odd that nobody from the Panelverse is over here commenting and in my chat and having conversations. But if you go and watch that Panelverse, that creator and that Panelverse creator and that Panelverse creator, and it's the same motherfuckers in every chat, but they're not in my chat. You know, not saying that I'm in the Panelverse, but when I'm talking about them and I have the title of my video is something related to the Panelverse, you know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
To me, it's a clear sign that, you know, they don't want to know, and I can relate that to plausible deniability, because they don't want to know the truth, and they can't, you know, deny knowing the lure or what, you know, particular people have been up to. If they're not known, if they don't reveal themselves, they can still, you know, claim that, you know, oh, what are you talking about? Like Cynthia today, or not today, but in her video yesterday. Well, Snafu Snaps and Hank Flamo says, how come you did this to Bad Apple Media and you took them to court and blah, blah, blah. And Cynthia goes, you took somebody to court? like it's news to her.
Right.
You know, and it's like, you're not a very good actress. You know, are you playing dumb? Or it's just, to me, it's clear and evident. It's like,
yeah, that's what I pointed out, that later she said she went to the hearing, and I was like, okay.
Well, it's because, well, I sent her an email telling her,
right.
You want to know what's going on, bitch? Bring your fucking stupid ass to the fucking hearing and watch Snafu Snaps come in and fucking tell the government that he's afraid of Bad Apple Media. And so then they flip the script and they act like, you know, it's just, it's an endless fucking loop, LARP, you know. And
right.
no matter what I say, no matter what I do, they always turn it around on you. And it's not just me. It's anybody who goes against them. They take their words and they turn it around on them. And is it part of that psychological training shit that they learned over at Rose 777's house? And they have class every day, you know, and say, this is what you do. When somebody confronts you, you just flip the script and you turn it on them. You know, do they do live action role play at Rose 777's or, you know, wherever they go to get this fucking training? Or so I don't know. Are they trained? I don't know, but it just seems that they all are acting from the same playbook, you know. It's just really weird.
Yeah, I'm writing a little piece on you know, acting versus LARPing, and one of the you know, so the first you know, like little you know, credo of it is that, you know, the actor uses you know, basically the real world, right, the real character to accentuate the fictional, whereas the LARPer uses the fictional to accentuate the real.
Right.
So it's just like, it's kind of like an inversion of acting itself in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like, you know, you got to wonder yourself, am I the only one that sees this? Is this something that, you know, it's kind of weird. I have to laugh. Get Real Man says, you guys are just jealous you weren't still virgins at the age of 25 like Paul and Saved. Yeah, yeah, you got me there. I was jealous of being a virgin. You know,
well, I was actually pretty close to that. Yeah, I mean, I got married when I was like maybe like 18. So I was relatively young, but still, yeah, like that was around the age when I lost my virginity. Like, I didn't lose my virginity until I got married. So I'm an extremely
well,
odd character, right?
no, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I was brought up in a Southern Baptist family, and you got married and you did everything right. There, back when I was a kid, there was sex, and drugs and rock and roll, but I was raised differently where I respected women and I didn't see them as a sexual object.
Yeah, I was raised in sort of a strict, like sort of religious, so yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm not. I'm still to this day. I'm not a. I there was a point in time in my life where I was a womanizer, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go bang chicks and have one night stands and whatever. But that wasn't what I really wanted out of life. So I had normal relationships, but to use sex as a weapon, it wasn't something that I was taught to do. You know what I mean? Or whatnot. And I've done a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, I should say, when it comes to relationships, and but yeah, whatever. I'll get into my weird life story, I guess you could say. But yeah, we all have our one of my not just one of my one sister was married at 15 years old to the preacher's son. My other sister got married at 17 years old to the preacher's son. And it's just the way of life. My brother was married to his high school sweetheart when I was 4 years old, and all my brothers were married to their high school girlfriends, and that's that was what I was brought up to see, or that's what you get married and you have a normal relationship, and that two people, man, yeah, two men, I'm gay. Somebody will take that and clip it, but two people in a relationship, a man and a woman, that's what it was. You didn't fornicate, you didn't have sex out of marriage and shit like that. But we're not in that kind of world anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, like I'm sort of like caught between two LARPs. Like one is the cyber LARP, and the other is sort of the medieval LARP. So we talk about like sort of like, like transhumanism, and then we talk about like medieval philosophy. So it's kind of a very strange.
From one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
From early times and the medieval early times to the modern, artificial intelligent,
Yeah, that's kind of where we're headed, because like Christianity and Islam are still here, right? And they're pretty much dominant, right? I mean, along with Judaism, right? And also the Roman system is still here, right? So we sort of live still in a medieval world, but then in another sense, we're moving towards an unknown future. So I think like that is the appropriate perspective, is like, we're kind of like stuck in like, Rome, but like also future Rome, or whatever.
Yeah, we like future Futurama, like that cartoon, right? Definitely, man. We're on the cusp of the unknown for sure. Is it going to happen? Is it just some talk right now, or are we going to start getting the Neuralink microchips planted in us? Do we really need the Neuralink microchips? We are antennae, we are electric beings, and information can flow through us, and we can be if you ever pay attention to Sabrina Wallace. I don't know if you know who Sabrina Wallace is, but she has some very interesting perspective on humanity and our role in the AI convergence between humans and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, she's like one of those magnetic frequency type of people, right? She talks about that. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, things of that nature. But she knows what she's talking about, So
yeah, there's a lot of that type of stuff that's obviously being used as weapons, harnessing the body's energy, right? And they're saying that obviously the entire thing where they have to like put a chip in you, that's old news, because they have non-surgical implants. They have nano machines that can be programmed from a distance. So,
nanobots, right?
Yeah, so you could eat these, or these could be injected into you, and so on and so forth. So they don't need to put a chip in you at all, right? So this is the problem, that we're sort of looking at, is the problem of like sort of nano machines and also pharmacogenomics, right? Because the food is sort of changing us on a genetic level, right? Because it's inundated with chemicals and stuff that alters your genes because it has endocrine disruptors and so on and so forth. So
exactly.
So people who think that the issues the issues are man-made, right, and the solutions are technological, right? That's always going to be a problem, right? Because because technology is replacing humans, right? And it's always sort of led to a loss of human autonomy. So so this is the problem, is that and you could see that with the sort of people that are the environmentalists, right? They say man's destroying the earth and technology is going to save us. Well, who's going to make the technology that's going to save man?
Technology is going to become self-aware, and we're not going to be needed anymore.
Yeah,
we'll be obsolete. So,
right.
They tell us about all that. They could tell us all about it in their predictive programming in their Hollywood picture shows. So it's not something that we're like, well, what's going to happen? I think we got a pretty good idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. So it's like, if you look at like philosophy, like there's no solutions there. If you look at like science, there's no solutions there, because the science that the government has is not the science that the people have. So there's a huge, mismatch between the rule of experts and, so it's time for the common person to sort of engage in sort of multidisciplinary research, and dare I say, we need real whistleblowers, real journalists. And,
don't we got some already?
No.
Are you sure? I keep hearing about it. I keep hearing this shit every day. Real fishers and men, real journalists, whistleblowers, man.
Sadly, they're not around.
Exposing the traitors and frauds and criminals.
We need to train new ones for sure.
Right. Yeah, and it's absolutely like Yellow Jello said in here. It's loosh, and we are their loosh. We feed them what they need, our energy and our manifesting of their desire. So, this could be a very, very long conversation, very deep, but unfortunately, it's getting late. It's 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it's very late. Yeah, it's 3 in the morning. Yeah,
exactly. I've been up since 7 in the morning. I worked today. I did a lot of been up for a while, and I'm tired as hell. And I would love to sit here I would love to sit here and continue the conversation, but I don't want to pull an OTW and fall asleep on my stream.
Yeah. We're there. We're always there on Saturday night. Also Tuesday and Wednesday night. So that's so I keep like a regular schedule. But yeah, so come by anytime. But yeah, I'll contact soon, and we can continue these conversations. But yeah, blessings, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to
you. Yeah, get in touch. Send me an email or whatnot, and try to have a connection or whatever off a line. Or not. It doesn't matter. But hey, appreciate you for coming up here. I'm glad you decided to swing through. And,
yeah,
I enjoyed having a conversation with you. So we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, talk to you soon, sir.
All right, man. Stop by anytime, man. All right. Yeah. We'll see you. All right.
Peace.
Bye-bye. All right, man. So anywho, there you have it. I spent 2 hours and 39 minutes waiting for the old Snafu Snaps to show up. Was I holding my breath? No, I wasn't holding my breath. I'm still here. I didn't turn blue. I didn't pass out. But nonetheless, I think that it was a productive evening. Got a little information out of the old Hank Flamo. Proved once again that Cage Reality is a fucking nitwit. Who's nothing but a childish turd burglar, a Canadian fucktard. And met another individual that Snafu Snaps likes to harass and give a hard time to. Paula Nitz, thanks for swinging through. And appreciate you, Machine Lives, for stopping in, having a conversation. And I appreciate you too, Hank Flamo. Despite the fact that you get a little wild there and you show your emotional side sometimes, which hey, I'm not going to knock you. We all have an emotional side, a passionate side. But what's up? Cynthia could have came in here and told us that they had a falling out, her and her little Oreo cupcake, and but no, it won't last long. They'll be back to loving each other like no other in the next couple of days. We'll see how that goes. Like Machine Lies says, it's been done 20 times. They hate, they love, they hate, they love. This is what they do. This is the LARP. That's the loop. The loopy-loos. They do it again. But I appreciate all of you who stopped through, who decided to hang out and chit chat in the chat box. There was a few of you that I would like to have had come up here, like the old Linzilla. I would have even entertained the old Tariq to come up and have a few words to clarify your offer to have me do research or investigate, Donna Damage, which I don't know where that insanity comes from. I couldn't tell you, but I kind of don't care. Donna Damage is damaged Donna. You can't make rhyme nor reason of some of the shit that these people do or say. They'll say, you're crazy, Bad Apple Media. You're paranoid, schizophrenic. You're delusional. Well, okay. I'm pretty sure that I'm not far off the mark with the things that y'all are up to. Just like Machine Lies, it's pattern recognition. And I tell most of you guys, if you're part of some gang stalking program, no matter who's behind it, you might want to go and tell your handlers that you need better training because your shit just doesn't work on me. You're not going to manipulate me. You're not going to play games with me. You're not going to get me to do what you want me to do. It just ain't going to happen. I'm not that guy. I'll never be that guy. Oh, you want me to play Cynthia's song? I'll play Cynthia's song. I like that song. I'm going to have to get the lyrics down and sing it myself because I think that I could sing it pretty damn good. My popcorn is the most buttery. Do you put a little garlic sprinkles on it? Little Parmesan? Little white cheddar? You know how you go to the movies and you put the popcorn in the bucket and the butter and you shake it up, and then you got the little flavored jars over on the side where you can sprinkle some flavoring on it, and you shake it up some more, and you put the white cheddar, or you put the garlic on it, or maybe the Parmesan. Sometimes even jalapeno. Yeah, there's sometimes. Well, I haven't been in the movies in a long time. I'm pretty sure they still do that. Man, I'm so old school. Me and my family would go to the movies. We'd go to the drive-in, and we would pop our own popcorn, and we put it in a paper shopping bag. And I loved it because I was always we're driving to the movies, and I'd see that bag in the back. We'd have 2 liters of soda, and some snacks. And I would like, man, looking at that bag, you see the grease and the butter just absorbing onto that paper bag, and you're like, oh man, can't wait till the movie starts. And then we can dig into that popcorn. And then we get to the drive-in, and we'd find that right spot in the station wagon, and then we'd get our blankets out, and we get on the roof, and we'd all lay up on the top of the roof, us kids, and then some of us would get on the hood, and then it was time to go play at the little play center down at the front. And then you play until it got dark. Then all of a sudden, you'd hear the music, and you'd look up on the screen, and you would see the wire walking hot dog, or the popcorn dancing around. So you would like, oh my God, it's 5 minutes to showtime. So then you would play a little bit more, and you'd watch it, and you'd wait, and it'd say 3 minutes to showtime. You're like, all right, got to bust to the car, man. So then you be dodging in between the cars, and you find your car, station wagon, and you'd jump up on that roof, and you'd get your spot, and the sun was going down, and it was just a slight little cool breeze in the air that just relaxed that sweat that you had on you from playing on the playground shit, run around like a maniac. And then you get your Dixie cup with soda, and you get a bowl because my mom would bring a big Tupperware bowl so she could scoop the popcorn into the Tupperware bowl and put it up on the roof for us all. And I'd always try to get into the middle so I could be right in the middle, and I wouldn't have to reach too far to get to the popcorn. Man, the good old days. If you didn't live in the 70s, and you weren't living in the 80s as a young adolescent or a teenager, I turned 18 years old in 1986, man. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the 70s and the 80s, if I could turn back the hands of time and turn back history and society and everything in it, that's where I would go, because it was the best fucking life, man. Didn't have this fucked up internet, all these wackadoodle motherfuckers on here causing trouble and drama and all that shit. When I was growing up, you talk shit, you get bust in your mouth, and you didn't talk shit no more. Here on the internet, motherfuckers talk shit all day long. All day, all night, day in and day out. You call a motherfucker a pedo pogo. You call someone a pedophile back in the 70s, you get your ass whooped. You wouldn't call nobody a pedophile again unless the word pedophile probably didn't even exist. As far as I remember, it didn't exist. It was a child molester. That's what you called it back then. You didn't have no fancy word calling a pedophile. Man, we had so many drive-in theaters in my neighborhood, my town. We had the Galaxy. We had the Van Dyke Drive-In. We had the Troy Drive-In. We had the Mount Clemens Drive-In. We had Bel Air Drive-In. We had, where the hell else we had? Shit. There was like 7 or 8 drive-in theaters, and you'd be looking in the newspaper. You'd be like, my mom would say, go get a newspaper. We're going to go to the movies tonight. And be like, fuck yeah. Me and my brother would run to the movie or go to the store and get the newspaper and hope there was a newspaper in the box. Because if there wasn't, we had to go to the next box to get a newspaper. It was before they put the fucking movies on the phone. You had to go into the newspaper to find out was at the drive-in theater. And then, so it was a big old family fest to figure out what movies we were going to go and see. And you know what? I didn't really care because honestly, at that age, I was sleeping by the middle of the first movie. I'd eat my popcorn, drink my soda, watch the movie, put my head down. Next thing you know, I'm fucking sawing logs. And my older brother would pick me up off the roof, put me in the back seat. Next thing you know, we'd be driving home and I would see the light, the street lights. It'd get bright and it'd get dark and it'd get bright and it would get dark and it would get bright and it would get dark. And if you didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s, you don't know what it was like driving down the road because we didn't have these LED lights that shined everywhere. The street light, it was right where the street light was at. And then between that street light and the next street light, it got dark. So you knew that, you could see it would light up, get dark, it'd light up, get dark. Man. And then I get home, my brother would be shaking me, wake up, we're home. And I would pretend to be sleeping. And he'd be like, I know you're awake. You just want me to carry me a little. And so then I'd make my brother carry me and put me in the bed. That was the good old days, man. Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on skating rinks, all night skate-a-thons. Oh, don't get me started, man. Be all night skate-a-thons. I was 13 years old, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. We would go out all night long and go to the skating rinks. They'd be called skate-a-thon. And we'd be smoking weed, partying, doing skleeners, man, rock and rolling, double skating with the girls, man, it was good old times. You guys don't know what you was missing if you weren't born in the 70s and 80s, or not born, but if you didn't live through the 70s, 80s as young man and teenagers. The best of times, the worst of times. But all right, enough of me reminiscing about the good old days. I miss them days, man. I really do. I look at old pictures and I'm like, man, whatever happened to this fucking world, man? Whatever happened to it? I don't know. But I wish it was like that again. But I know that it ain't gonna be like that unless you find some small town somewhere and they still have like the old Arby's, like the big hat with the lights all around it, like the individual light bulbs that outline big old Arby's hat, or whatever, man. It's just like the old shit. Those, man, when I roll through a town and I see like something that reminds me of the good old days, I'm like, man, this is a good town. It's got to be a good town. So, all right, man, I've had enough. Late, 3 o'clock in the morning. Got to go to bed. Been way too long waiting for cowards to show up. I had a couple of good people that showed up. Three people come up on the panel, had conversations. I won't say that Cage Reality, you're kind of a shithead. I think you're a fucktard, Canadian dumb fuck. Yeah, that's what I think about you, Cage Reality. You can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass. All right, appreciate y'all. And where is it at? Let me jump up here. Let me jump up here and find something. Where did it go? I'll give my moderator Lynette what she wants. What Lynette wants, Lynette gets. So until the next time, we're going to put this cool ass tune up in here, and we're going to sign off with the Woosy tune. This is the Woosy tune. The Woosy tune. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the Woosy tune. So make sure I'm sharing the Woosy tune. So appreciate y'all. We'll catch you on the flip side, and have a good night. Bad Apple Media. Peace out.
The loudmouth cunt stomps in like she's heaven's lost gift. Cocky ass bitch with a soul full of shit. Cigarette breath and a busted face. Talking all tough, but she's out of place. Think you're hot shit, bitch, you just trash. All bark, no bite, sounding like a yapping mud. Talking out your ass, every word you spew's pure fucking shit. You're the reason hell runs out of time. Can't stand up, bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on her tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips. Rotten to the core, just a filthy fucking train wreck horse. Yeah. She's got drama dripping off her tongue. Talking big shit since she was young. Fake ass smile, cheap perfume. Whole damn vibe smells like doom. Think it's tough, bitch, you're just a joke. All talk, no action. Just blowing smoke, every move you make. So fucking show you're the kind of trash karma loves to tow. Can't stand a bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on her tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips. Rotten to the core, just a filthy fucking train wreck whore. You two-faced whore, you ain't shit but a stain. Spewing your poison, driving folks insane. Keep flapping them lips, you worthless bitch. Karma's loading up and she's itching to switch. You talk like a queen, but you crawl like a rat. Ain't nobody buying your fake ass act. Can't stand a bitch who thinks her shit don't stink. Walking on her tippy toes, pour another drink. Middle-aged mess with a manly tone. Filthy fucking train wreck horse, sitting all alone. Big mouth bitch, running your filthy ass lips. Rotten to the core, just a filthy fucking train wreck horse. Keep clapping them gums, you foul mouth witch. World sick of your drama, you toxic bitch. Your mama should have swallowed, saved us the fight from dealing with your stinking ass day and night. You're a low-life joke, a waste of breath, a walking disease that karma's gonna wreck. Go choke on your lies, you miserable bitch. Oh.